know, bro. Let him know, bro.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the third episode of No Rest Holds for the Weary here on Brave New Radio. It's finally not freezing cold. It's finally not pouring rain. We got a nice, easy-going morning to talk some wrestling. So happy for it.
Oh, me too, man. Me too. Happy to be here.
My name's Dante Vacatoro. Right now, we got Stephen Clark and Jesse Norman in studio. Samori Rose is on his way. Got a big show for you today. Hopefully, the big show will show up one of these weeks that I keep saying that. I'm trying to speak it into existence.
Hey,
that's all.
Know. He's not doing much.
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know. White shows up at the back door.
Yeah, I wish, right? Big 7-foot guy just peers into the studio here. So we're on the road to the Elimination Chamber 2 weeks away in Houston, Texas. So we're going to talk a little bit about how Raw and SmackDown have been progressing over there. Get a little bit into halftime heat, which happened during the terrible Super Bowl. We'll get into that in the second half of this first hour. And then second hour, we're going to gush over WrestleMania in the first edition of Top 5 Thursdays.
Top 5 Thursdays.
Other than that, how are you guys this morning?
Oh, I'm warm. I feel good. It's not chilly like
Isn't
last
it
week.
great?
Oh, man. It's beautiful outside. Man, I'm loving it. Good day to talk wrestling. It's every day.
I'm sure next week it's going to be like freezing.
Yeah, yeah. This isn't lasting.
Gosh, global warming sucks, man. Yeah. Climate change, all that. It's terrible.
Listen to
Amazing geopolitical analysis there, Jesse.
Thursday, it was 0 degrees.
Yeah.
And then by Monday, it was 55.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, 50 degrees warmer. It's insane.
Hashtag that's my champion.
So,
Hemp.
originally, or what we've been doing the past couple of weeks was going chronologically with first Raw and then SmackDown. But I think I want to change it up just a little bit, and we're just going to talk about Becky Lynch to start it. Because Becky started both Raw and SmackDown this week, and she had herself a hell of a week.
Yeah, she beat up an entire family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you do.
Imagine being Triple H and Stephanie's kids.
Yeah.
Watching your mom get beat up on Raw, then watching your dad get slapped in the face on SmackDown. I wonder how that makes you feel.
Probably good.
Yeah.
I mean,
remember when you grounded me?
Yeah.
Revenge. Thanks, Becky. But, yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Look at Becky go. She's a star.
Once again, hard sell on Becky Lynch. As if you weren't already convinced that she's going to main event WrestleMania, she gets offense in on both Stephanie McMahon and Triple H.
Man. That means they like her, obviously.
Absolutely, yeah.
well, they have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
One of the best thing I liked about Becky's promos and everything was she said it into the microphone, but kind of off the microphone when Steph was telling her about like getting cleared by the doctor, and she goes, "You're not taking my moment away." But she doesn't say it directly. And like it makes it feel more real. She's like not talking to the audience. She's like looking at her, and she's like, "You're."
It's
you're
like an
not
internal
doing
crisis
this.
here. Like you can't do this.
It reminds me of when like Samoa Joe and Paul Heyman had that complete off the mic, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And Joe's just like, "Hey, like, I'm going to choke you right now, and you're going to pass out. I just want to let you know that, though."
It gives that real factor.
Yeah,
I like
she's like looking at her, and she's like, "You're not going to do this," but she's not cutting a promo. Like she's literally, that's her line.
Yeah.
And then Steph's like still going, and she just like, she has no other way to go about it. Like she's just so annoyed. She says it right away, but I thought it was fantastic the way they did that.
I know so many people that before Raw started, had dirty diapers thinking Stephanie was going to do something bad to Becky Lynch because the whole notion that Stephanie McMahon gives but does not receive punishment on shows, and Batista came out like 2 or 3 years ago was like Stephanie doesn't do anything to help the the stars or anything. So people were like legit scared. I wasn't, because I trust the World Wrestling Federation. That's just who I am. And for those people who were scared, I think they were pleasantly surprised to see what happened. Ultimately, the big story out of that segment, though, was Stephanie suspended Becky Lynch until she gets medical attention for her bum knee. Which
gives Charlotte the #1 contendership until Becky gets back. Watch, they're gonna I don't know if they're gonna give it to her since she was the second to last one in the Rumble.
Yeah.
Or there'll be a tournament, a #1 contenders tournament, which culminates at Fastlane or something.
That's literally the only way you could make Fastlane matter.
Yeah.
Like, first of all,
if there's implications for the main event of WrestleMania, absolutely Fastlane matters.
Which is usually what they kind of do.
They try to do.
Yeah. So,
but
they try so hard, but it does not work.
It never works.
In years prior, there was implications for WrestleMania, but you never felt like anything was going to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This year, there's such ambiguity in the air. Oh, is Becky going to be cleared? How are they going to deal with, so Fastlane automatically becomes some sort of a must-watch.
It gives me kind of vibes of Seth and Triple H when Seth had that injury when Samoa Joe injured his knee again, and you didn't know if he was healthy, not healthy.
Yeah.
But it gives me that kind of vibe again. But this is a way bigger match than Seth Rollins versus Triple H.
A few more implications here.
Yeah.
I mean, if they do the tournament, it's still hard to like get behind the tournament because obviously we all know like Charlotte's probably gonna win. My only other problem is like, then do you put like the Raw women in there and the SmackDown women? Because Ronda's a Raw star.
Right.
And technically Becky's still SmackDown until WrestleMania. So to get Charlotte in there in that tournament, you would have to do like a 4 women in the Raw, 4 women on SmackDown.
I guess what you gotta do.
Meet.
You could.
Like, I just don't know how you fit Charlotte in an all Raw tournament.
So their way out from there is the fact that Charlotte was the only SmackDown woman left in the Final 4. So it gives her precedence because she was the last remaining SmackDown person. She was the last remaining person who was legally entered into the Rumble before the match actually started. So it gives her precedent to say, hey, if I were to win, I was going to fight Ronda. But Becky just came in with no rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
And it's like, so Charlotte does have a way in without having to put SmackDown women into this theoretical tournament. And I think putting Charlotte in is the right move, just overall.
Whoa.
Ooh.
I
wasn't expecting that to be a hot take.
Yeah,
You want
I
me to
want
defend
it.
myself?
I
here?
don't.
I want it.
I feel like Charlotte has a better place in another spot in the card in WrestleMania.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with you. That's
Oh,
the first
welcome,
thing.
Samari.
That's the first thing I'm going to say.
I think Charlotte has a. If you run it back again and do Charlotte Asuka, I think I would like Charlotte and Asuka and Becky and Ronda on the card as a total more than I would like Becky, Charlotte, Ronda, and then Asuka versus
whoever.
to be
Whoever.
determined. Like,
Having those 2 matches gives the card more beef.
I understand that though. It would be a bigger moment for Becky if she beats Ronda 1-on-1. But I think the story is so interwoven with Charlotte and trying to get out of Charlotte's shadow that you kind of need Charlotte to be in it in some way.
So who would take the pin? Charlotte still?
Charlotte would take the pin.
Oh,
She could.
they
She
could.
could- I mean,
but I think they would need Ronda to do it
Yeah.
to put
or-
Becky over more.
Yeah.
If they still want to build up that 4 horsewomen storyline next year, Becky does pin Charlotte, and then Ronda's still the whole time just going, "But you didn't beat me." But and
could.
also Ronda's apparently going to step away for a little while.
That's the
after
rumor.
Mania.
Yeah, we
but,
don't
like,
know.
Even if she doesn't, like, I don't want to see Ronda Becky at Backlash after.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
So,
they
like,
would
I
save it
think
for a bigger
they're
show.
not going to run this storyline for 3 months, and
Yeah.
like they should. Okay, we said that about AJ Shinsuke, and they did.
That's true.
But
Let's hope they don't
we're
do
gonna
that.
say that they don't. So I think like the best way to do it is to just keep them apart as much as possible after Mania. So I think that involves Charlotte taking the pin.
Okay.
Because then Ronda can come back 4 months later, whenever she wants, and just be like, I didn't lose my title. Your best friend who was added to the match tapped to you, and I lost my title.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I can see it. 100%.
I get that. So, SmackDown opens up with Charlotte Flair, and nice shirt, Samori. He's got the KO Mania 2
Yeah,
shirt.
that's my boy.
That was
We need him back.
That was the show where Kevin Owens fought Chris Jericho, and then he went to the back and asked Vince, "Did I do good?
Are we good? Are
And
we
Vince,
good?
And Vince was like, "No."
Yeah.
No.
I saw that on the 24.
My
Yeah.
favorite moment of that
I
WrestleMania.
felt so bad. I love Kevin Owens. He's my top 5. Oh, I like the big guys that can move.
Yeah,
That's
We
the
need
thing
him
for me.
back. That Raw desperately needs
Yeah.
him back.
I agree.
So SmackDown starts with Charlotte, and she's riling off on Becky. She said, "I should be the #1 contender. I should go to WrestleMania." And Becky just walks out. She's suspended. She jumps the barricade. It's like it's no problem. They get into an argument, and then Triple H comes out, and he tells the same thing to Becky that Stephanie told her, and Becky just slaps him.
Love it.
All for
Love
it.
it. Love it.
I'm all for it.
Love it. Love Becky. At the top of her career
Yeah.
right now.
It just goes with her
keep going.
character. Like,
Yeah.
she's like, I just don't care. Like,
Yeah, she's
is
at the
what it
point
is,
where
you
Yeah.
know?
Sort of
like you can't
Stone
touch me, you
Cold,
can't do
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, she's definitely like a
Cold, yeah.
stone cold
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of character.
Which I love. I'm fine
Yeah.
with that.
And then Becky put something on Twitter where she had the picture of her face when it was all messed up by Nia Jax, and she was like, "Listen, my face got screwed up. I had a concussion. I still went to SmackDown expecting a fight. Why are they going to take away my WrestleMania moment?" So
Right.
it's going to be real cool seeing how they keep her around the picture without actually having her wrestle until Mania, and seeing when she finally gets added back into the match. I think that's going to be a big
It's going
moment.
to be a while, I think, before she.
Yeah.
Yeah, the story's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah.
To see what they do with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I can't remember a story like this.
No.
So like, especially with like, obviously with the women's division, because
Oh,
like
yeah.
they've never.
This is the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only one I can think of is like Braun with the elbow, but that was under so many different.
Yeah. Different
It was so
circumstances.
weird.
Plus, it was with Corbin.
Yeah, like that was
Like,
that
yeah.
whole thing was weird, and we didn't know how much
Yeah.
she was actually injured. As far as we know, Becky's not legitimately injured.
Right.
So
she,
it's
she was selling
interesting-
both knees at the Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I saw the picture.
so it's interesting to see how they're gonna do this storyline, because this is one of the first storylines that like I'm watching and I'm like, wow, this is actually really fresh, and
Yeah.
I've never seen this before.
So-
But I think Becky we're not gonna get fatigue of.
No.
Because we just love Becky. This isn't like back in the day when Cena would get fired and everybody was like, yeah, and then he'd come back next week and everybody's
Yeah.
like, oh, we didn't want you here.
Yeah.
It's like
remember.
it's like if CM Punk got fired at his peak and then like came back next week, everybody'd be like, yeah.
So that was like 2011
awesome.
Punk.
Yeah, 2011. They'd be like, yeah, awesome.
That storyline could be so
2011.
much better.
Yeah.
That could be so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like, and Becky's a good enough promo. She can just be in every week and just talk about how much of a badass she is, and that's pretty much all she has to do. And I'm like, yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. Get in some off the cuff street fights, and
Yeah.
just do what you got to do.
Believe it or not, there is precedence, though, of a Rumble winner, an eventual Mania main eventer, missing a chunk of the build to Mania. Because Roman Reigns, leading up to WrestleMania 32, I think it was the night after the Rumble, Triple H beat him up, took him out. And then he didn't show up again until March. No, I'm lying there, because he worked Fastlane. Triple H beat him up eventually, and then he
probably
missed
didn't
time.
work until Fastlane.
Yeah.
So that was like his
Yeah.
comeback thing.
So,
What a horrible couple months that was.
yeah, you
And a
know.
horrible mania.
We'll get to Mania 32 in the
we-
second hour.
yes,
we
I'm
will.
sure there's some
Trust
topics
me.
that we could
Of
bring
course
up
we
from
will.
them. So it's not unprecedented, but I think the way that they're handling this is so fresh, and it feeds right into the palm of people's hands. The people who are scared that, oh man, they're going to quote unquote ruin Becky Lynch are caring so much about what happens. And the people like me who have faith in the World Wrestling Federation are just sitting back and saying, look at what they're doing for Becky Lynch here. There's never been a more popular character
And
on
they're
TV.
putting her over with the authority.
Yeah.
Like she's in a storyline. Like I think that's gonna carry out to Mania.
Yeah.
And they may have some implications in that match. It's going to carry over the whole time.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a big deal.
It's interesting. The Authority isn't even like heel right now.
No.
Like Triple H was a little after like the Stephanie thing was said, but like Stephanie was literally like, you need to get cleared.
Yeah, we want to put you there.
She was like, we literally want to put you in. Like, Becky, I respect you and everything. Nobody wants to see Ronda get beat up more. Please go get cleared. And she was just like, no, I refuse. But you're telling me every wrestler has to pass a physical? No, not doing it. Like, she's like, no, you must not know. I follow different rules, Steph. And she's literally like, please just get cleared.
Yeah.
And Triple H is like, you can come back as soon as you get cleared. Otherwise, you have to leave. So they're still saying like, hey, we want you on this show.
Right.
But they're also still going about it in a way that they're putting her over and how much people love her.
I really like this storyline.
Me too.
You can't tell.
It's fresh, like you said.
Yeah.
It's fresh. Like Jesse said.
I completely lost my train of thought because I'm just gushing over the storyline here.
Want to talk a little
It's
bit
understandable. It's
about Raw?
understandable.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about Raw. It was good. It was good.
Okay.
It was good.
Okay.
It was good for a Raw.
Raw is
It was a Raw.
See, the thing is, like, you can't even measure Raws on the same grading book because they're without Roman and they're without Seth.
And Brock. But that's
Well,
always.
Brock's never been there.
Brock, yeah.
But still, that's always.
But, like, so Roman's gone for obvious reasons, and then your second guy behind Roman is now also gone. Like, who are you left with?
Yeah, who's there to carry the show?
Braun, who has been flattened
Morbidly bad.
and
Horrible.
like it's been. Braun's 2018 was really bad. We said it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like he had one of the worst
Yeah, I named
2018.
him my worst of the year.
Yeah.
So like now, who are the prominent faces on Raw?
Balor,
Braun,
A 50-year-old man named Kurt
Angle.
Kurt
Yeah,
Angle.
Kurt Angle. It's gotta be because Seth and Roman are out
Yeah.
that they're just like, Kurt, start wrestling again. Come on, buddy. We need you here.
We don't care about your neck anymore.
My favorite part about Raw was the heat that Charlie Caruso was spitting on these interviews here.
She was coming at them.
She was gunning for a Pulitzer
my
Prize here.
God.
Apollo, do you really think that Kurt Angle could win a match? Sasha, you've been kind of a failure recently. How do you
At least
feel?
he's blunt.
I
like
love
it. He's very
Sasha and
blunt
Bailey's
with it.
response. Like, you know what? Yeah, we might be a failure, but together. I'm like,
We're not.
wait, you just said. I'm like, Sasha, you're a 4-time women's champion. You're like, yeah, I'm a failure. I suck. But like
Well, all those
when I'm
title
with
were
Bailey,
4 days probably. So
Yeah,
that's,
you're right.
that's
It's back
true.
and forth between Charlotte and Sasha.
but she still won 4 championships. Like Bailey, you were one of the most over people and faced Charlotte at everything. You won the title from Charlotte for a point.
yeah, and her title run was atrocious.
Oh well, yeah, because immediately when she won the title, she was like, I shouldn't have this title.
Yeah.
Like, how do I get behind that champion?
I loved the interaction too with Ambrose and EC3
that was
on Moment of Bliss.
fantastic.
Oh, that was wonderful.
Jesse, you look like a Creed fan. Do you like
Do
Creed?
you like Creed? Oh, where's EC1 and
That was
EC2?
my favorite line of the night.
That was really good.
The one thing with this, I don't know why they're not letting EC3 talk.
He did this when he started NXT too.
Yeah, but he has such good promo skills.
Yeah.
Like,
I think they just want him to do something a little silly because his character is like serious but silly at the same time. So
Yeah.
this is kind of the way that they could foray into that.
And I know we said this 2 weeks ago. At least Dean Ambrose isn't being selfish. Going
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
He's going to try to put people
Yeah.
over.
what was Dean talking about? Like sexual tension or something
Yeah.
with Renee right there. Like, I drive all the ladies crazy. And all of a sudden you hear Renee going, oh.
I love Renee's when he's interviewing. I love when they like address the Renee Dean
Yeah.
relationship because like it's such a weird elephant in the room when they don't. And then at the end of the interview, Renee just goes, I'll work with him at home. He needs to get his interview skills up. I'll work with him at home.
Man. Fantastic.
It only makes sense to have Renee be on Dean's side.
Yeah.
Like even though she's obviously like a face commentator and everything, having her on Dean's side always makes sense. It's like just give it like the Michael Cole Miz vibe from like 2013. Even though
Not
Michael
that
Cole
much, but-
wasn't heel
That was
anymore.
so funny.
Michael Cole wasn't heel anymore. He was just neutral and everything. But anytime Miz came out, he just fawned over him.
Then
So
Michael
I
Cole
think-
had his own box too. Remember
Yeah,
that?
I think it only makes sense to do that with Renee and Dean.
Yeah, that brings me to WrestleMania 27, which we also will get into
we will.
later.
That's a big one to talk about later.
That's a huge one.
Also on Raw, my boys Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins calling themselves
they
losers.
had something, yeah.
They're calling themselves losers backstage.
I'm calling this. I'm calling this now.
Mania.
I said to Steven,
Yeah.
they're going to beat somehow one of them or both of them is going to beat Dean Ambrose. That's my take.
Why Dean Ambrose?
Because Dean Ambrose is leaving. They're just they can literally just
I love it.
put him under no matter who they're no matter what they're
The
doing.
biggest Ryder and Hawkins fan here. I
Or
love it.
or my
with it.
other thing is maybe like they both win the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Like they just stop at when it's just those two left and they like raise each other's hands or something like it's gonna be something
There's
like
no
that.
definitive winner.
Yeah, like they co-own the trophy that they'll roll out for 3 weeks and then that's it.
I'm
But
down.
I think it's gonna be something like that. But my money's on the Dean Ambrose one. It won't be announced.
Yeah.
Like Dean Ambrose will go down, he'll be like, I don't have a match, and then Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder will come down and they'll get like a roll up on him.
I'll love it.
Last thing I want to bring up from Raw, Elias versus Jeff Jarrett.
Get it off my
Why didn't you
television.
guys like
Get
this?
Jeff Jarrett and Road Dogg off my TV.
Road Dogg's fine on SmackDown behind the scenes, and Jeff Jarrett needs to get off my
Elias
television.
brought that
Yeah,
up.
Elias eviscerated Road Dogg with
Ooh.
that. And he was like, oh God. Road Dogg was like real mad about that comment. Road Dogg was dressed like Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit fame.
He was dressed like 20 years too young.
Yeah.
Too young. Like,
Yeah. Jarrett actually wore like TNA King of the
TNA
Mountain Jeff
gear
Jarrett gear,
with
which is cool.
The yellow shades
Yeah.
too.
I thought it was fine. I don't know how far Jeff Jarrett's gonna go with this.
Let's hope not.
Let's
hope
hope not. Yeah.
I think it was an interesting segment. I don't want to see these guys in the ring. That's
No.
not even just because Elias in the ring still isn't even that good.
Well, he wanted
Elias
somebody
is
good
just such a
to
great
get it over.
promo and everything.
True.
But no, I would much rather prefer these guys to just stay like brawl, like hit each other with a guitar a couple times.
The guitar shot that Jeff Jarrett gave Elias was disgusting.
that was
It had,
hard.
it had to be the wrong guitar, right?
Yeah, it didn't break. Like,
Yeah, it had to be.
And those other guitars, literally, like you poke them,
Yeah,
and those
they're-
things like collapse
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
we're gonna find out in like 2 years that Elias has major back problems, and we're gonna
He's
trace
gonna
it
have
back
to
to
like
this.
retire.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like believed to be sustained by Jeff Jarrett when he like severed 3 of his vertebrae.
And with Road Dogg too, the way he did his intro, like one half of the tag team champions, like he didn't like do the whole
Yeah.
thing because of Billy Gunn's with AEW now. I was like, wow, that's weird.
Just to close out Raw, unless you guys have any like parting shots with it, I'm a big proponent in the YouTube views of segments that usually tips the scales to see what goes on or what's popular in the eyes of everybody, not just our sect of the wrestling world. Becky attacking Stephanie McMahon has 2.1 million views.
Woo.
The Moment of Bliss segment has 1.3 million. Ambrose versus EC3, the segment after, has 1.2 million. And Braun and Kurt Angle versus Corbin and Drew has 2 million flat.
2 million for that.
2 million for that.
That's just
That's the Kurt Angle
That's Kurt.
effect.
It's
Yeah.
the Kurt effect.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I will say is when they said they were going to make an announcement for Kurt Angle, I thought they would did something like the Ric Flair thing, like, oh, the next match I lose,
Yeah.
I retire. If they would have did
Well, you
that,
never know.
Yeah, but he doesn't wrestle enough for the next match. To
Yeah,
be,
like-
at that point, Rick was still
Yeah, he was still working almost
wrestling.
full-time wrestling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
weekly house shows, everything.
but the way they were making it seem like I think that would be a good storyline for him if he continued to wrestle.
So we're going to be right back. We have to take a contractually obligated music break
Our
right
favorites.
now. We'll be back with the $1 Billion A Show, SmackDown Live, right after this here on Brave New Radio.
I've done it again. Dug a little deep and it's all caved in. Now free fall in a black hole. I know I'm getting warm cause I feel so cold. But I'm looking on the bright side now. Trying to figure out somehow. None of this is real now. It's looking like a write-off now. I think we need to talk right now. So, don't swear to God he never asked you. It's not his heart you draw a knife through. It's not his world you turned inside out. Not his tears still rolling down. Jesus Christ, you're so damn cold. Don't you know you've lost control? you think I know. No secrets, you can't keep me. Look at you go, brought a T62 to a rodeo. So tall, it broke the fourth wall. Guess my fairy tale has a few plot holes. While I'm looking on the bright side now, trying to figure out somehow. None of this is real. You can give the act up now. Go ahead and take a bow. So don't swear to God he never asked you. It's not his heart he drove a knife through. World he turned inside out. Not his tears still rolling down. Jesus Christ, you're so damn cold. Don't you know you've lost control? Forget about the things you think I know. No secrets, you can't keep me.
Back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with the second half hour of the first hour of No Rest Holds for the Weary. Can I say any more words with this? Probably. I'm Dante Vacatora. We've got the full cast of characters here right now. Stephen Clark, Samori Rose, and Jesse Norman. We talked about a little bit about Monday Night Raw, and it was all right. We're going to talk about SmackDown, and there was some interesting SmackDown news that came out of yesterday, which is always interesting to get SmackDown news on a Thursday. Fox came out with some stuff about SmackDown's eventual move. It's going to be live on Fridays on Fox, and Fox is looking, hopefully, to get more WWE programming on their channels.
Which means
NXT is a full-fledged third brand.
I was thinking that, plus the return of Talking Smack, possibly.
That would be great.
I would love that.
I would love me
That's
some
the first
Talking
thing
Smack.
that came to mind. I think Talking Smack's coming back. I'm loving that it's on Friday again.
Yeah.
That gives me childhood
And at least it's
vibes.
live.
Yeah.
At least
It's staying live.
Can I just call it SmackDown now, though?
I hope so, yeah.
Get rid of
It's such a
live.
weird little quirky thing that you got to bring up.
It's like 3 years almost now. It's like it's SmackDown now. But
If they bring back Talking Smack, who hosts it? Would they just put Renee back? She's on Raw. Like she's a
Doesn't
unless they put Renee in the Superstar shakeup.
That's
you
true,
never
too.
know. Or have Charlie going at people.
Yeah, Charlie.
Yeah, that too. But Corey Graves is already on both shows, and
Yeah.
I don't.
so it
Okay,
doesn't
Corey
matter.
can't do more.
I'm not
That's-
saying that.
yeah.
I'm not saying
Poor
that he will
Corey.
host. So I'm just saying Renee could do
There's
it.
a precedence there.
Well, some people don't even know if Renee's gonna be there, but
She'll-
that's
She'll
speculation.
be there.
I'm pretty sure she'll stay.
Yeah. So SmackDown was great.
As
Of
always.
course it is. SmackDown happened. I'm just buying time to hear what you guys have to
Samoa
think.
Joe, I need him on my microphone.
Oh my
every
God.
single SmackDown. I need him on the mic every
Yeah.
SmackDown because it's just amazing how good he is on the mic.
The habitual line stepper steps over more lines this week.
Yeah.
And actually, I don't know if Randy and him might actually fight at Mania. I don't.
You think?
Just the way they've been like booking it, you know, because during the CN match with Ray, Randy RKO'd him. Then he interfered in this one, and I feel like they're gonna have something to do with each other in the chamber. Even though I still think it should be Randy and AJ, but I think that might actually happen. I wouldn't mind it either.
One thing I don't like with SmackDown is this Rusev and Nakamura team.
Why?
Like it gives me League of Nation vibes from a couple of years ago. The foreign guys getting together.
I didn't have an issue with it.
I just
don't like how they turned Rusev heel. Just
yeah, and
then they
the
were just
club,
like
too.
because
Yeah,
like,
Lana's,
it's like what?
and Lana's cool with Nakamura now.
Yeah.
even though he just-
Yeah, and she knows Japanese or something now.
Yeah,
like,
they put
which
up
is-
an
I don't even
exclusive.
care.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's whatever. You know?
They put up an exclusive interview on the YouTube channel. Rusev started talking Japanese, Nakamura started talking Bulgarian, and Lana was like, "Yeah, this is just their thing now."
Well, it's the Jap and Bull connection. Is that the name of the team?
At least
they won't have that cool of a name.
At least the Good Brothers had a good performance.
Yeah.
I think the match was good.
Yeah,
The
it
match
was
was
a good
solid.
match,
The match was
yeah.
solid.
I just feel bad they lost again. Like they finally get on TV. At least they're getting on TV, unlike Sanity. which is
Yeah. Well, yeah, you know.
That's
insanity.
also true.
Mustafa Ali too. We'll get to him.
Yeah, the thing with sanity though is it's hard to put a team as far out as that on a 2-hour show where we're already stacked with talent. They'd be great on Raw because we need stuff to happen
They'll
on
probably
Raw.
get switched.
They'll probably get switched, and then we'll probably see something happen with them.
Fine.
So
Switch them for Ryder and Hawkins.
yeah,
Or the Revival.
Yeah.
I think the Revival.
Oh, we didn't talk about that on Raw. They won the number 1 contender match.
Yeah.
So
And they're not
That
going to win the
makes, like,
titles.
8
So
times.
they might win the titles and then lose to Hawkins and Ryder at Mania, but they might win the titles.
They put an interview up on WWE of the Revival. They asked him about leaving, and they said, "Yeah, we're leaving with the Raw Tag Team titles."
Good for them.
I think that was WWE's way of just like trying to address the rumors and then trying to like suppress them and
Yeah.
work them in, but it's not going to work. Like people are just going to speculate.
They're going to continue to
Still
say
so
stuff
much,
about yeah.
like especially while like AEW keeps putting out contracts
Yeah.
and stuff. Randy said the other day,
He's open, and that turned into a
that's
whole
such
story.
a lie.
No.
That's
Randy's not
such a
going- yeah,
lie.
he's not going
Randy's
anywhere.
literally just saying that because he can be like, "Well, offer me $2 million more WWE."
Yeah,
maybe I'll
that's
stay.
all.
He's
it
trying to
is.
Like
make it
Randy,
WWE.
Randy is not leaving
not.
WWE.
He
Like,
wouldn't.
get out of here, Randy.
Yeah.
You're literally like the second. You're the guy behind Cena who I know wouldn't leave.
Yeah.
Brock, sure. Brock doesn't
Yeah,
care.
maybe.
Brock does wherever the money is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But like Randy Orton, no. You've literally been there since 20 years old. You were a golden boy. Like, get out of
Right,
here.
Wrestling-
he's a superstar of the WWE.
Wrestling Twitter was firing on all cylinders when that rumor came
Yeah.
out. They were making so many good jokes
videos
about
were
the
coming
idea.
out left and right
Yeah.
on YouTube. I was just like,
Oh my
he's
god,
not going
he's
anywhere.
not going anywhere. I love it though. He fought Mustafa Ali on SmackDown Live.
Yeah, I want
And he cared.
yeah.
Randy cared.
He put
He
in
was
a good
engaged in a match,
match,
and that makes me happy.
yeah.
Man, give
Yeah.
Mustafa a title. Give him
Dude.
that U.S. title.
No, that would flatten Mustafa out.
Yeah,
It's
the
a
title's like, you're
curse right
It
now.
is a curse.
That
Yeah.
U.S. title
They
is.
need to get it on somebody.
yeah.
Somebody.
I think
somebody. Yeah.
realistically, I think there's only a couple people who could bring that title back, and
Big
that's
Andy,
like what?
Andrade.
Andrade,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
I was
I
gonna
think
say
Cena would be really good
Andrade,
with it.
Samoa Joe. I don't think Mysterio
I
could
don't
at
think
this
so either.
point. Like it'd be Andrade, Samoa Joe, maybe Daniel Bryan, but like he's obviously
not- yeah.
he's not going. He's, not,
gonna get
going
demoted
lower.
like that.
Yeah.
The U.S. title made it
I
a
want
hemp
him
now.
to have both belts and just have one hemp and one just
leather.
recycled, just like a recycled plastic belt.
I would love that.
That would be hilarious.
Give me that. Like, make a statue like that, like they did for Seth Rollins when he had the world title and the U.S.
Yeah,
title.
then Sting was under it.
yeah. Give me like a statue made out of hemp too, and like
And
bottles.
that was
and everything.
that was one of the nicer RKOs I've seen Randy doing as a little time.
Yeah.
And I like how Mustafa tried to fake him out the first time. It was a really solid match and
Yeah.
different styles mixed.
Yeah.
And Mustafa's eye too. You
Oh,
saw
it's
his-
disgusting.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Leave it to Randy Orton.
Yeah, leave it to Randy.
Did you see what he did to the Singh brothers in 2017?
Yeah.
Like he was just gonna do that.
That's
you
how I used to
know?
get thrown
Randy
around when I was a
was okay with
child.
I saw a tweet. Nia Jax like quoted that tweet and was like, "Can't blame me for this one."
Yeah. Oh, did I work SmackDown last night?
Yeah, something like that. I thought that was hilarious. Like she's embracing that she
Yeah.
injures everyone,
Yeah.
which is really funny.
We have the final team in the women's tag team tournament elimination chamber.
The Dancing Buddies.
The Fabulous Glow, Carmella and
Ooh, I like
Naomi. I was sold on them when they had that little picture-in-picture promo, and they were
Me
on the same
too.
page, and they went period together, and they snapped it. I was into
I'm
that.
in. Like I didn't think it was gonna work. Like I saw spoilers that.
Yeah, I saw they accidentally leaked the graphic.
Yes, they
with
leaked
all
the
6
graphic,
teams.
and I was like, "Really, Carmella
Yeah.
and Naomi?" But then after SmackDown, I'm like, "Yeah, Carmella and Naomi."
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense too because Naomi still hasn't finished her beef with Mandy.
Yeah.
So to get her in the chamber with Mandy, they're locked in together. That's what
Which
we're
is a way
building
to eliminate both teams. in a way.
Exactly. Yeah. You want to just talk about that real quick? We'll end up predicting the elimination chamber next week.
Yeah, because next week's a go home. Right?
Yes.
Wow.
It's
Already.
quick. Yeah, only like a 3-week build to the chamber this year.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Last year it was 4 weeks because they did the gauntlet match
Right.
on the
Right.
3rd week.
Oh, I forgot about that
Yeah.
hour long. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the women's chamber, who do you feel right now? Sasha Bailey?
It's got to be.
It has to.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
I think it has
see
to be
who
them.
else could it be.
The reports right now and these are reports. Take them with how you will. But Sasha is not cleared, according to reports.
Right.
That doesn't surprise me.
That's why she didn't work any of the match, and Bailey Iron Woman that tag match on Raw.
Well, I'm either thinking Sasha and Bailey or the Iconics. I can see the Iconics taking it. Which
I don't. If the Iconics were going to take it, I just feel like they would have had to have been built up more. Just in the past couple weeks, not even long, but just they would have had to feature them a little bit.
Sasha and Bailey, then I guess.
I think that's if Sasha gets cleared, that's the only way.
If Sasha's not cleared, who's the backup?
Nikki Cross? Oh, as in who's
Sasha?
actually winning?
Like who's gonna actually win
Mandy and Sonya.
I would think.
Yeah,
I
makes
love
sense.
them.
And then like the elimination would be Naomi and
the backup. I think they're the most established duo outside Sasha and Bailey or Mandy. Fire and Desire is a great tag name too.
I love it.
And you could build them up. You could have the blow off with Naomi at Fastlane in a tag title match, and then at Mania on the kickoff, or even on the main show if you got time. Mandy and Sonya, Sasha and Bailey for the titles, and then Sasha and Bailey just have them. And then you could do the Trish and Lita match that we've been speculating whenever you want to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing with Mandy, which I noticed, I saw in the corner of my eye when she got the pin, does Corey Graves jump up in excitement.
Corey Graves is so good
And
at
then
selling
Mandy
that.
pointed at him, and she's like, she pointed at me. I love Corey when he gets all lovey-dovey.
People get sick of it.
I don't know how.
I don't know how.
Look, Corey is the best part about WWE TV, not named Becky Lynch.
I agree.
I love Corey Graves so much. There's so many lines I can just. Last year in the chamber, it was like, what's people's favorite weapons? Foreign objects. What's Braun's favorite weapons? Humans. Because he just took somebody and just threw them at
little
another
subtle
person.
things that he says in between.
Oh my God! Shut up, Saxton. That's wonderful.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh my God, I love Corey Graves so much. I think he's fantastic. I want him on everything. I want him on.
There was a
literally
point where he was on everything.
Yeah. They really worked him. They're like, oh, you were used to working a full-time wrestling schedule. You're gonna You're gonna go on a full-time interview schedule.
Hey,
just do everything.
Work WrestleMania with no pee breaks, buddy. Please do that.
God. Imagine. I'm wearing a diaper when I'm going to Mania. I'm not missing a second of that.
SmackDown was good then?
SmackDown was good.
Of course.
Okay.
Danny Bryan's promo was really good too, especially when he's home. Danny Bryan right now, he's on a tear. I love it. I just love it. And then his match was really, even though they didn't get enough time, and it was kind of a cluster at the end because it's an Elimination Chamber match. You're gonna expect that.
Right.
Him and Jeff Hardy still had a good showing for what they got.
How can Jeff talk about ugly belts? Do you remember his
TNA
belt
belt?
from TNA?
The purple one?
The purple one?
Yeah.
That looked worse than the
I've seen.
hardcore title, and the hardcore title was meant to look bad. Jeff, you can't talk anything about bad titles.
And then
dude.
him and AJ, when the thing went backstage, I'm pretty sure that's going to lead to a match. And they've had good matches before.
Yeah.
But Jeff's a little older now, and the bumps have added up. But and he's probably going to do something crazy at Elimination Chamber, like always. But
that's
gonna
why
be,
Jeff's in there.
It's going to be ugly to see, but we're gonna all
off the pot.
we're all gonna
There's
pop
at
for
least
it.
a swanton in the pot.
Yeah.
Off the pot. And I wouldn't be surprised if he literally just missed. And then he missed, and Daniel Bryan puts him into the yes lock or
heel hook or something.
yeah, whatever. Transition somehow into a thing,
submission,
and Jeff taps or. Oh God, he's gonna take such a big bump in Elimination Chamber.
Like I get scared for him now when I know he's in these matches.
God, his hip's gonna start to fuse. Oh man.
I said at the top of the hour that we're going to go a little outside the chronological order. And so we just finished Tuesday. Let's go back to Sunday.
Yes.
During what I consider to be the worst sporting event I've ever watched on television, regardless of sport. We had the revival of Halftime Heat.
Yeah.
Big 6-man tag from the PC.
I don't have 3 hands, but that's a triple thumbs up.
Yeah. Oh my good God. What a match.
Fantastic. The way Dream came out dressed as a football player, too. I think he was dressed as a Patriot.
Dream's just on another level.
Yeah, he's wearing thigh pads, knee pads, too. And I was like, I love this
His
guy.
attires have been fire.
Yeah.
I've even turned more of a corner on Dream, where I used to say Adam Cole, top to bottom, was the most complete performer in WWE, period. It might be Velveteen at 24, 25. Yep. Just the detail he puts into his character.
Insane.
He might be the best character, wrestler, worker, everything just all compiled into one. He might actually be the best performer in WWE.
My highlight ultimately was seeing Adam Cole pull out
The Panama Sunrise.
Oh,
Because I was like, Rey Mysterio did. I'm like, there's a little time before Adam Cole does it. Then I saw him on the ropes. Then I saw Ricochet. I'm like,
No way.
Then he did it. I was like, okay, that's okay.
And they also did the spot from Takeover Brooklyn for
The moonsault,
the
the
moonsault,
super
super
kick.
kick.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Which was spot of the year last year for me. That was
They bought out everything.
Yeah.
They bought out everything,
Yeah.
and I love it.
That was as according to plan as you could possibly get, because they knew the Super Bowl was going to be whatever, people's declining interest in the NFL. Ultimately, somebody's going to turn into
That was horrible.
WWE.
worst ratings in 11 years for the Super Bowl.
It's at halftime with a halftime show that nobody was really excited for, unless people thought that SpongeBob was going to be there for some stupid reason.
He was there for a split second.
Yeah.
It should have been there for longer, but that's another
But,
conversation for another day.
They knew eyes were going to be on NXT, and they needed to sell NXT to people, especially if they're going to take it off as a third brand. So they put the 6 biggest names in NXT
And the
together.
6 best.
Yeah.
And the 6
And they
best.
just tore the house down. They did everything they needed to do. They showed everyone this is what NXT is all about in a 15-minute match.
Now, I said this last week. We need an Elimination Chamber match with all 6 of these people. I don't know. That would be like the greatest thing.
Yeah.
And just to see Ricochet in Elimination Chamber,
Main event
NXT
show.
Takeover Elimination Chamber.
Hey, give it to me.
that's perfectly fine
Give
with
it to
it.
me.
So one thing about NXT potentially becoming this third entity here, the likelihood of big name call-ups is probably going to decrease because you need established names on NXT. So if they could build up these names to be big NXT names and then just keep them there, that's going to be the way to go. And you're going to see more people like Heavy Machineries and the Lacey Evanses get called up, which is fine because it gives them exposure that they're not going to get on NXT TV. So there's one big thing from NXT TV that I want to talk about.
Go for it.
Eric Bugenhagen. Y'all watch?
I watched.
Why?
He's new to me.
Okay.
He's the future star. I'll give him that. I think he's the future star.
He's new to me too.
He's the
but
future North American champion.
I
he has
like
potential. Has a lot of potential.
Who defeated him? Drew Gulak. Keep him down in NXT. I
In the
love
match,
Gulak in
the
NXT.
match with him and Riddle,
That was a good little
really,
impromptu
really
thing,
solid
yeah.
match.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt Riddle's grown on me.
Yeah.
I love
He's grown
Riddle.
on me.
He's like top 5 on
I'm
my
still
stance list.
I like Riddle in the ring and everything. I'm still just confused on the character. Like it's still
he's
because-
high.
high.
Yeah.
but like, and then he like, it's just like he has suppressed rage, but then it's like, but where's the suppressed rage from? From okay. Well, I've never experienced that before. Like just having suppressed rage because you were high.
Listen.
It's just, that's
Hey, it affects people differently.
it's a very different character. I'm just still unsure of what the character is.
I just love when he kicks off the flip flop.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
my favorite thing in the world. I don't know
Yeah.
why. Like little details. I just love that. But Matt Riddle was good. Eric Bugenhagen, whatever his name is.
Bugenhagen.
Bugenhagen.
Let's get it right here.
Hagen-Dazs ice cream, whatever. he's Hagen-Dazs sounds good. But I mean,
When does he just become Eric? When he gets up to the main roster?
they've been referring to it like so I follow this one guy who sits hard cam on the NXT TV tapings, a big tall guy. Last night's episode he was wearing like a long sleeve blue shirt and
baldish
a
guy?
yeah,
Okay,
and he had the snow cap on and everything. I follow him on Twitter and he goes to almost all of the Florida Loop NXT shows. So he knows all these guys by heart. He calls them Rick Boogs. That's Rick Boogs. They were so into Boogs' entrance on the tapings that they sent him out for an encore.
that's so beast.
And they put up the encore as an exclusive on YouTube, and he just comes out, does his entrance, pulls Kayla Braxton into the ring,
yeah.
teaches her how to do the air guitar. It was
So-
I'm a big Boogs guy.
He's the next Fandango.
I was thinking, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Or Adam Rose.
Yeah.
Let's not hope
He-
that.
Let's not hope.
He's he's not much more than an entrance yet. A little rough around the edges. I don't know how he's going to be as a wrestler, but I'm happy with what Boogs brought us.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
let him do his thing. Like,
Yeah.
Fine with that.
205 Live happened. We have a new number 1 contender for the Cruiserweight Championship of the world.
Disappointed. Very disappointed. I don't want to hear Tozawa in there.
Well, I think they were going to go with Hideo, but what much more can you do to improvise, really?
Well, yeah, and Hideo's gone.
Yeah.
But
They still put on a good match.
Yeah, it's still going to be good.
It's going to be good. So
I just
there's no
don't
complaints.
believe.
Yeah,
Tozawa's
I don't
gonna-
believe in Tozawa.
I don't know who I can believe in that.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah, like there's
no Amdar. I said it last
Nope.
week.
like unless you like literally move down Ali again or
Even that, I'm not
Balor
doing
or
it.
something. Like unless you
They
put
won't
somebody
do that
down
for
there, they
Balor.
won't do that. But like unless you put somebody down there, like who hasn't Murphy beat?
Tony Nese.
Stop.
Yeah, like that.
They're friends, then they become enemies, and then Tony Nese wins the title at Mania.
It's the only
thing I could think of.
Literally, what else? What is Buddy Murphy just gonna keep fighting the same guys and just keep beating them?
I would hope.
Because
Yeah,
because why out of nowhere is he just gonna dominate these guys and then out of nowhere he's gonna lose?
Until they get like a big signing or something.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's literally like unless Ricochet gets called up.
and
in
Kushida's
205
coming. I don't know if
Live,
Kushida's going to
okay
be.
with that.
No, I'm not.
He might be on
Don't put him
NXT though.
Let him,
Yeah.
let him run the brand. No. Let Ricochet run 205.
Okay,
Okay,
two
running-
separate conversations.
Yeah.
Running 205 Live is not enough for a real star. It's not.
And I think Ricochet's star power.
Ricochet's star power is
He should be on
immense.
SmackDown
The-
or Raw if he's called up.
So they brought in Leo Rush almost the same way as Ricochet. Yeah, obviously the star power coming in between Rush and Ricochet is different.
Yeah.
But they signed Rush specifically for 205.
Mm-hmm.
He worked a couple matches on NXT and
Barely.
losing efforts.
A lot of house shows. More.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ricochet, they came from the jump and were like, "You're just a guy.
You're the one and
gonna
only."
be." Yeah, exactly. So Ricochet's not gonna go to 205. Is the gist of what I'm saying there.
Yeah.
Another thing with
if there's
205
anybody, I would say Kushida, but he most likely might go to.
Yeah,
to,
he wrapped up
NXT.
his New Japan commitments on the 29th of January, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has like a 90-day no compete or if he can't sign until then, but I think the rumor was that he's going to NXT first.
and that's
before he
fine
does-
by me because
That's
they'll have
fine.
some really good matches
Fine.
there too.
Kushida Riddle is that's the
Ooh.
match I'm trying to see.
Give me that takeover. What is it? Toronto or something?
Now it's Toronto too, yeah.
Yeah. Give me that.
I was talking with my buddies about that last night. Is like, it's weird that we're not on the road to Brooklyn over the summer.
It's to Toronto.
It's to Toronto now, and we're
don't
just
like
not
it.
going back.
Did they
to
sign
Brook-
a deal? Like
I don't
for
know.
Brooklyn? Like
I don't know.
they
I'm
had to have in Los
assuming.
Angeles.
I'm assuming they will, but I don't know for sure.
I don't like it. I'm gonna miss it here.
Yeah.
It's not the same feeling. I don't like
Yeah.
it.
It just feels weird not going to because Brooklyn was their WrestleMania for so long.
Yeah. Remember the first takeover Brooklyn? How iconic that was.
Yeah.
Sasha and Bailey and all
Yeah.
that. And now it's just gone.
Yeah,
Like,
Balor and Owens in the ladder
in the
match.
ladder match. Yeah. But also on 205 Live, Brian Kendrick defeated Mike Kanellis in the opening match.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't remember Brian Kendrick was still signed to WD. I didn't. I thought he was released and like just was like training or something.
He was
Like,
working with Tozawa for like the
Yeah.
last month.
I
He's
know,
been
but like
aligned.
I don't know why Kendrick doesn't register for me anymore. Like I can watch a Kendrick match and I'm like,
Who?
huh? Wonder who that guy was.
Yeah.
a little whippersnapper over here.
But I haven't watched 205 in a while, so it was like my first like week tuning in for a while. Then I saw he shaved. Like I don't know when he last shaved, but I was like, oh, he looks like Kendrick
Oh
from like
yeah,
2006,
he looked
2007.
gross without a
Literally,
beard.
like when he doesn't have the beard or anything, he literally looks he looks like 15 years younger.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy how much
yeah.
the facial
Yeah.
hair impacts like his face.
And why is Mike Kanellis a heel? He has his wife and his little kid on his jacket. Like, how is that guy a
Why is
heel?
Mike Kanellis in 205
Why
Live?
is he signed? At this point,
I like Mike. I have nothing wrong against him.
Yeah, but I think he's more of an indie guy.
He is
he's
more of an
he's
indie
better
guy,
on the
yeah.
indies, and it shows especially now.
yeah.
He was so happy when he first got to WWE just because he was like getting paid.
Yeah.
Because Impact wasn't paying people
Yeah.
for the last like 3 months that he was there. So he was just working for free. And like the first like 3 months, him and Matt Hardy had an exchange on Twitter about how lovely it is to actually get a paycheck week in and week out and know it's
That's
not
so
going to
funny.
bounce. But I guess that wore off pretty fast. Because He's not loving those paychecks anymore.
Nope, they're enjoying that.
Those paychecks aren't going to Rogaine or Bonsley or whatever. You see the bald spot on his freaking head?
Yeah.
Oh, it's disgusting. I know. Like I see the little things, and those are the things that get tick me off.
Male pattern baldness.
Male pattern baldness. Yeah.
But I am looking forward to next week. 205. Tony Nese versus
Noam Dar.
No
Yeah.
DQ match. Give me Noam. Start building up Noam Dar till he gets his match at Mania. Make my card seem right.
Anytime they have stipulation matches on 205 Live, it's always really good.
They're always good.
They're
Yeah.
always really good.
Yeah.
They always make sure to give the main event to 205 every week enough time and attention.
It's always like that on NXT too.
Yeah.
That's why I like the hour shows.
Yeah.
What's next week on 205? Is it Ricochet Cole?
On NXT is Ricochet Cole. Yeah.
Cole,
You
NXT.
said 205. Yeah.
NXT. I mean.
That's okay.
That's fine. I can watch that 1,000 times.
Give me it again. Yeah.
Theoretically, it could
Give
happen
me it on
205.
every show. I want it on Raw, SmackDown, 205, and give me on NXT.
NXT UK
Ship them over
too.
to UK,
Yeah.
and we'll get that real quick, too.
Speaking of UK, because we got about 5 minutes to kill here, the Worlds Collide tournament happened over the weekend too.
Yes.
Did you guys watch any of it?
I just looked.
I
at
caught the
spoilers.
end of it.
Mm-hmm.
I heard the last match was good. Was it Bait and
Bait and Dream. Yeah.
But Dream and Cole was really good too.
Dream. Yeah.
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 I tuned in for the semifinals and finals, whatever was being broadcasted on this Saturday at 8 p.m. on the network. I was thinking about this the day after. I don't think I've ever watched a Tyler Bate match where I haven't lost my mind and said this guy is so good.
He's a strong kid.
The fact that they signed him up at 20 years old or whatever they did with him, the biggest play that they've ever done. Because now you have him for 15 years if you want him.
Minimum.
Yeah.
Like, guys wrestled to like 41, 42 now, so like 20 years.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He's not amazing on the mic, but that's what Trent Seven's been for his career.
He doesn't need to.
Let just Trent be his manager.
Yeah, you could do that.
But Trent's still good
He
for
can still
now.
go.
Yeah.
For now.
I take over Brooklyn 4, the tag match.
Yeah.
Beautiful. But Tyler Bates so impressed. He's so young.
Yeah.
He's a couple years older than us.
Yeah, it's
And
disgusting.
his thighs are just
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
He's very
like
talented.
Saquon Barkley with
Yeah.
those thighs.
Him and Dream being the future of the company makes me feel so good because they're both just they understand what is going to get a reaction and they just do it.
Don't overwork them.
Yeah.
And they'll be there for another 20 years if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Tyler Bate isn't even 22 yet.
Yep.
He turns 22 next month. Actually, March 7th, so a day from, or a month from today.
So he's a year older than me, basically.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he's
Wild.
Yeah.
Unless,
he's only 5'7".
That's like my
He
height.
does not seem
Really?
5'7".
Yeah, no, he's
5'6".
short.
Really,
He's short. He
that's
feels short.
interesting. I feel like they don't make him seem that small. That's
Yeah.
cool. Oh, he's also selling ring worn gear.
Did you? Yeah, some of that stuff's going for. I need to convert pounds to dollars here. But okay, hold on. I'm on Google right now. The pound sterling to the dollar. He's selling his Wembley Arena ring worn gear for $1,200 on his personal website right now. Guess who's not paying $1,200 to get
us.
sweaty ring gear?
You're right. None of us.
Not this guy right here.
Speaking of overpriced stuff, I was looking at access tickets.
Oh.
Yesterday, the access tickets went on sale.
Yeah.
I got general admission because I was originally going to get a VIP one. I was going to get Seth Rollins, and I got the days mixed up and all that, whatever of what days tickets. So I looked to like StubHub or whatever to see what tickets are going for. Originally, the VIP for Seth and Becky each individually were $190 without tax. So it's like over $200 with tax. They're reselling for like $800, $900.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not gonna.
And I said I'll give him my $50 for general admission, which wound up being over $70 with tax.
Right.
All
And the fees.
and
The
taxes.
fees. I love that. Fees are $14.90. Like, what fees?
Yeah.
My God.
Have you ever been to the venue that they're holding access in
No.
before? Because I've heard things that's just not like a good venue either.
Really?
Yeah,
Because last time it was in New Jersey, it was at the Izod Center. They held
but they've closed the eyes out since then.
Exactly. So
Wait, that completely screws up everyone's plans with going to Mania and everything. The fact that they have it in East Rutherford and then in Brooklyn,
like
generously it's an hour commute
yeah.
from
Oh, that's
the stadium to the
very
arena.
generous.
And
Very
there's
generous,
and there's a
yeah.
lot of people that booked hotels in Brooklyn because most of the stuff's in Brooklyn, but they have to somehow get to MetLife
That's the
the day
smartest
of.
way to do it.
Yeah.
I think the only way you could is you have to go Penn Station or like Port
Yeah.
Authority or something
Yeah.
to Secaucus, and
And
then
somehow
Secaucus
get
you
these-
can
yeah.
bus. But
Yeah.
like getting that like a bus schedule and everything is like that can be
I would know
so
about that.
frustrating.
Yeah, it's not
bus
fun.
expert.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I mean, from Secaucus to the MetLife Stadium, it's probably only like a 20-minute drive. So if you really want, you could Uber there. Like it's not like if you're already spending that much money, I'm sure you don't care about spending for
Right.
for an Uber 2 ways back.
Yeah.
But no, the commute would definitely be a little frustrating.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it'll be worth it
For Mania, I think people are willing to sacrifice.
Yeah, but this broke college student, that's not.
Yeah,
not gonna
yeah.
happen.
Yeah, no.
I'm watching on my couch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I will be
in
comfortable
the heat.
in my.
I
in
pay
my
$9.99
house
a month for
Exactly.
with my Domino's,
I'll be freezing.
watching WrestleMania.
I'll be freezing
fine.
out there. I'll be cosplaying as Kevin Owens out there. I already basically have the looks for it. I have the whole lower body down. So
It's a good thing we're talking about Mania now because after the top of the hour, we're going to be doing our first edition of Top 5 Thursdays. And it's all Mania themed. We're going to talk about the best WrestleMania matches of all time, the best WrestleMania shows of all time, and anything else that we could think of that pertains to the granddaddy of them all.
Can't call that no more. Come on.
Yeah, I will. Vince isn't listening.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
okay.
hope. Let's hope not.
Yeah,
I
really.
hope he is.
You've been listening to No Rest Holds for the Weary on the nation's #1 college radio station, Brave New Radio. We'll be right back. We got to go to top of the hour and the contractually obligated song break. We'll be right back. Keep it locked here on Brave New Radio.
WPSC, Wayne, New Jersey. On the radio, 88.7 FM. Online, gobrave.org. A tune-in radio station. Part of the William Patterson Broadcast Network.
God already gave me his promise. We roll now. Number, I'm breaking up. Wanna make a connection, can't get no reception. Leave a message after the tone. 'Cause it's got my head running 24/7. I don't know if I can figure it out. It's so messed up, only one thing I know for sure. We're so full of shit. Don't move a muscle. No, we can't have a struggle, but the situation is in control. So play pretend that it's all good. You can tell the Messiah, his pants are on fire. I politely decline now. I got all the sadness, la 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 la. 'Cause it's got my head running 24/7. I don't know if I can figure it out. It's all messed up, only one thing I know for sure. What's up? so messed up, only one thing I know for sure. And we all march on like we know the way to heaven. Who the hell died and made you the king? We don't know what we want, but we know that we want it. And we want it. And we want it right
Welcome back to No Rest Holds for the Weary here on Brave New Radio. I'm still Dante Vacatoro. There's still Stephen Clark, Samori Rose, and Jesse Norman. We talked about what happened this week in WWE. We're only 9 weeks away from the Grand Central Station, WrestleMania 35. So we're going to start what we're generously calling here Top 5 Thursdays. Thank you, Samori, for that one.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
In an effort to figure out what to do in the second hour of these shows, we came up with trying to just come up with top 5 lists because they're always fun, always easy, and they always lead to discussion.
People like them too.
Exactly.
People like lists.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have stuff about our favorite Mania matches. We got stuff about the best Mania shows, and then we're going to talk about things in between. So let's start off with our top 5 best/favorite Mania matches of all time. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Come
Yeah,
on,
you-
I'm the most basic one.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Mine's gonna be like the
Go
most
ahead.
basic, like you're gonna find online.
I'll go after
Okay.
you. Jesse.
The only one I have that's like just sentimental to me that I have in here is Cena and Michaels at 23.
Okay.
It was the first Mania I ever actually watched
Really?
as a kid, like that my mom let me buy for $50. I don't know why she did that. That was $50 for like 4 hours of entertainment. I'm sorry. That was not a good investment.
Looking back now at how much I used to pay for these shows.
Yeah.
God, it's
The network's
bad.
such a godsend.
Yeah,
now
it
that you
really
think
is.
about it.
Thank you, Mom and Dad.
Number 4, a lot of people have it at number 1, but I don't like old school for the most part, I'm gonna be honest, but Bret Hart Stone Cold at 13 because it's just so important.
Yeah.
TLC 2 was
Fun.
so fun.
It was fun.
My number 2 is Triple H, Michaels, and Benoit
Who?
from WrestleMania 20, and number 1 Shawn Michaels Undertaker 25.
Okay.
So it's a very
nice.
basic.
Yeah, it
Solid.
makes sense.
They're great matches.
Yeah,
Can't
it's
complain.
just that's just what
Your
I got.
your
yeah.
quintessential guide to WrestleMania, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. I mean, put a classic in front of me, I'm just be like, yeah,
that's
I
good.
like it. That sounds good to me.
So you had TLC 2 on there.
Yes.
What do you feel about the Triangle Ladder match from the year before?
I like two just felt like more chaos.
Okay.
And I just I liked the chaos feel to it. Like I just thought
Yeah.
that was like it was just so fun to watch.
Yeah.
It was more
Yeah.
like
I do
I feel
feel-
like it was less even like story driven. Like it was just more like go out there.
Yeah, just do
kill
stuff.
15 minutes,
Yeah.
do whatever you want.
I do feel that match
And
is
Jeff's like,
underrated,
I'll
though.
jump over
The first
whatever
one?
you
Yeah,
want.
the first one.
Yeah.
Because the first TLC was very, very good.
Yeah.
I think it was better than TLC 2.
I think it was
But the Triangle
probably
Ladder match is very well
Yeah.
done.
it was probably better, but like it just wasn't as fun.
Fun. I like fun.
I see what you're saying.
I just
Yeah,
like
Lita came,
going
Spike
all
Dudley,
around and
Rhino.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
For the longest time, I thought the Triangle Ladder match from WrestleMania 2000 was better than TLC 2 from X7. I think that also has to do with the fact that X7 has a lot of great matches on the card besides that, and WrestleMania 2000, that was the only real good match at all.
What you didn't like the 4 McMahons?
Oh, you know what?
That was a good match.
You know what?
That was a good match.
The Hardcore Battle Royal is in my top 20 favorite matches of all time from that show.
What about the gimmick battle royal?
The Gimmick Battle Royal.
Who won that,
Go
Iron
scratch.
Sheik?
Iron Sheik, because he couldn't take a bump to the outside.
Oh,
That's
God. Oh, God.
literally why.
Oh,
So that's a
man.
good list. I
Yeah,
like that
very
list.
I like it.
Who's got the next list?
I'll
You got your hand raised, Steven. You can go.
Hey, we're not in a classroom. Not yet. It's too early for that.
all right. Number 5. We're going to start off with Triple H versus Daniel Bryan, WrestleMania 30
There you go.
in New Orleans. I like that better than the main event. I thought it started off
Yeah.
the show hot. It was set the story perfectly for Bryan to win the title. Him getting hurt in that match and getting attacked after it. Thought it was really good. Number 4, I have Shawn Michaels versus Triple H versus Benoit, WrestleMania 20. I mean, just like Jesse, I have that too. It's
Yeah.
a great match. Benoit winning the title, him and Eddie having both the titles. That picture, which is kind of sad to look at now, but
It was so good when it first.
yeah.
It was
so sentimental.
such a feel good thing too. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Number 3, I have Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle from WrestleMania 21.
That's a
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's two of my favorites. I love Shawn Michaels. I love Kurt Angle. And just a good match. Overall, just like what I need. That if you want to look at a wrestling match, like wrestling.
Yeah.
I'll send you right to WrestleMania 21. Go. I mean 22. 21.
It was 21.
That was Hollywood. Yeah, Hollywood.
Yeah.
So I'll go to network, search that, look at that. My number 2 match: Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 25.
Oh.
That regarded as one of the best matches of all time, but not as good as my number 1 in my opinion. Little biased. WrestleMania 29. We're going to New York, New Jersey. The Undertaker versus CM Punk.
Undertaker's last good match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one
Definitely
thing.
his last
let
good
me
match.
explain why this is my number 1. One, I was there, which is a little biased. Another one, it was his last good match, like Jesse just said. Number 3, my third point. The build, I thought, was really good with the whole Paul Bear. Like, they brought real life Paul Bear dying into.
A lot of people were real mad about that
I liked
online.
it.
I think like when a wrestler like goes out or something like that, like somebody in the business, I feel like majority of the time like that's what they would want. Like they would want it to advance, not like Randy Orton saying Eddie Guerrero's in hell.
Yeah.
No.
Not
Yeah, that's
that.
something totally different.
That was different. And then like riding down in the low rider, that was just like
Yeah.
a little disrespectful. But like Dean turning on Seth the night Roman did it, like.
You're never going to get a
It makes-
moment
Like,
like
what's
that.
the problem?
It makes
Like,
Dean such a good heel.
yeah, like
And-
so I think like in that it wasn't like CM Punk wasn't like, oh, Paul Bearer died and he's ashamed to have you as
Yeah.
a
He was
son.
playing
No,
around
yes.
with the urn like
Yeah.
John Cena.
Yeah.
I thought that was fantastic.
He
Yeah.
spilled the ashes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Heyman coming up dressed as Paul Bear, I thought
Yeah.
was great.
That was a really good match, though.
Yeah,
He
it
was.
was a
Really
fantastic
good
match.
match.
They played the urn really well. in the
My
match.
personal favorite Undertaker entrance at WrestleMania with the little
the
the scary peoples with
Yeah.
the hands
Yeah,
and that.
so-
Yeah.
That was also CM Punk's last Mania.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
another one of my
That's CM
points.
Punk's last
CM Punk's
Mania.
last Mania.
Punk's the Taker's last streak match
Yes,
that
that's
he
what
successfully
a lot of
There's a
defended.
lot of laughs
a
in
lot
that
of
match.
factors
Yeah.
came into that match. That's
Yeah.
why. And also the end when Taker finally got the urn
Yeah.
back, which is just like
Yeah.
a story comes full circle. And it's like a feel good moment.
And to think CM Punk complained that he wasn't in the main event of that show.
I know, and he put on
Hell of a match.
of the night. Match of the night, I'd say.
Easily match of
I
the
feel
night.
like that's
Yeah.
what he wanted because he wasn't in the main event.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm not in the main event? Fine.
that's
And
what
he kind
I'll
of did
just
at
steal
28
all the
too.
energy.
Yeah.
Not-
With Jericho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just Undertaker's entrance. Living Color was there for
Yeah.
CM Punk's entrance.
Yeah.
That's
Awesome.
a live
Awesome.
entrance.
At
So
that
good.
point, Cult of Personality was my favorite song.
And
just to hear it live like that,
was
yeah.
So cool.
I actually have it queued up in wide orbit if I ever needed to use music that wasn't on my phone, but
Hey, maybe next break. Who knows?
it won't be. So that was a good list, Steven. I like it.
my list.
Smart, what do you got?
Let's see if I could top these. Okay. So I do have some honorable mentions.
Okay.
So Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle is definitely on there.
Yes, very good.
Owen and Brett, I really
Yeah.
wanted to put that on there. But the stuff I have, I had to take it off.
Yeah.
Then I have some stuff from earlier Mania. So like Warrior Savage at Mania 7.
That's underlooked. That was a
and
really good match.
especially because of the Miss Elizabeth storyline,
Yeah.
how it came to factor.
Yeah.
And then they got married at the SummerSlam. Rock Austin, you could pick one.
Yeah.
I would have had 17 on the list.
Me
And
too.
then
17.
Hogan Warrior, that's on there. Then Shawn and Razor.
Sean Razor, yeah.
So that's the honorable mention list. So 5, I'm going to go with TLC 2, like Jesse did. Awesome match. What? Awesome match. Then 4, I have Shawn and Brett at WrestleMania 12. If you can actually sit down and watch the whole match, very, very good match. 0-0, the whole storyline. They win overtime. Shawn didn't want to shake his hand. It's so much stuff. They really didn't like each other. It was a lot of stuff going to that match. I have I have Stone Cold and Bret Hart at Mania 13. Just the way Stone Cold didn't tap. That's
the
one of the
blood.
best,
Yeah.
with the
Dripping
blood
down his
coming.
face.
That's one of the
Oh.
best images in wrestling history ever.
That it's fitting that the two characters are just bleeding when it happened, but that moment and the moment where Becky's on top of the ramp pointing at Ronda where she's like concussed and everything, the two defining moments of like this is a superstar
Yeah.
right here. Yeah.
And then that was the first time you see the double switch.
Yeah.
And it was pulled off to me the only time the right way. One of the only times.
I would argue Del Rio and Ziggler in 2013 was done very well, but I think definitely the best way it's ever been done was.
Yeah. So number 2 is Benoit versus Shawn Michaels or Triple H.
Yeah.
Just for Benoit always came up short, especially when he came to WWE. Then he finally had his big moment. And that match just in general was awesome. He had Triple H in a car race for like 10 seconds after he already tapped. And number 1's obviously Shawn Michaels, Undertaker.
Yeah.
But the thing, you guys didn't touch on it, but the entrance is how Shawn Michaels came down from heaven.
Yeah.
Then
Came
like
up
his
from
music
hell.
was just going, then out of nowhere, bong, you hear
That
the
was cool.
Undertaker.
I got me
Yeah.
hyped. I
So
remember
it's like the
that,
differences between heaven and hell.
Yeah.
And then these guys were both in their 40s and they put on one of the greatest matches ever.
Yeah.
And his awesome match.
Yeah.
Undertaker almost died doing his dive outside of the ring. And it's just Shawn Michaels came up so short in his awesome match. One of my favorite matches ever.
I love that it led to 26 too.
Yeah.
Just like the storyline that like he was literally going crazy. Like
at the Slams, he's like, I can beat him.
That is what I want for Cena to do when he tries to get his 17th championship. I want him to literally go crazy because he can't win it. Like Shawn Michaels level of just like, I can beat him. I know I can beat him. I can do it. And then he's literally like, I made one mistake. One mistake. And it cost me everything. And then it led to the Triple H one because Triple H is like, yeah, Shawn couldn't beat you, but I know that I can. And then,
he caused Undertaker the title in an Elimination Chamber match.
Yep, that was a great.
Because he lost in the Royal Rumble. That was a very, very good story.
That 2010 Rumble is one of the best ever because of Shawn Michaels' story in it.
Then Edge coming back as a
Yeah.
surprise. It was really
Edge,
good.
that's right.
Really good Rumble match.
It's funny you brought up the Randy Savage Warrior match. Not because I have it. I think it's up there, but there was some interesting thing that like Kofi Kingston's been on the main roster for like 10 years. Savage was already main roster, IC champ, world champ, and retired in the same amount of time that Kofi Kingston's just been on the roster.
Yeah. And Kofi's probably still going to go for
Another 10 years.
Another 5 to 10 years, honestly.
Right.
Like,
so, yeah, I like it.
A star that shines as bright burns twice as quick.
Yeah, I guess.
Boom.
Sure.
Science.
So
I want to bet Dante's number 1 is like Jinder Mahal, Bobby Roode, Randy Orton, the 4-way U.S. title match from
that was my bathroom break last year.
I know it's
it
not
did
on
its job well.
It's not when Jinder lost the Battle Royal. I know that's
No,
not on
it's
it.
that sure as hell isn't. No, I was heated when Gronk clothesline Jinder there.
I don't like Jinder or Mojo. I hate Mojo more than Jinder.
Thank you.
Especially what he's doing now.
I can't stand
He's like, I have no clue what's going on with him.
He's like my top 5 of like I can't stand him and Goldust are in my top 5.
Why Goldust? What did he ever do to
he
you?
blocked me on Twitter for
Oh,
no reason.
yeah.
That's a person.
Did you bring up Black Rain?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because
If you would have brought that up, he definitely would have blocked you.
He blocked everyone who brings up Black
I never
Rain.
added him once, and then I just decided they tweeted something about Goldust, like at Goldust. So I clicked on his profile and it said you are blocked. I'm like, what? I'm like, what did I ever do to you?
Black Rain was a bad time. That was a real bad time.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
He looked like he ate 2 of himself.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oof.
So while I agree, the stretch from Jinder winning the title to the New Day coming out with the pancakes, that was like the greatest 20 minutes of my life right there, because the Ronda match was in between too. That's not on this list.
Thank God.
I did decide to pick matches and shows and stuff that I didn't think you guys were going to pick. It doesn't necessarily mean that I value them more than the ones that you guys picked. It's just that I wanted to talk about different things too. So it actually turned out that a couple of these matches you guys already brought up. So number 5 is Angle Michaels from 21. One of the wildest strictly wrestling matches I think I've ever watched.
Yeah.
I think the build up to it too, just going from like the friendly, not so much friendly competition, but just a competition in the Rumble to stretch that to Mania and get personal and everything and then culminate in that kind of match.
He put Sherry Martel in it.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Such a good match.
Number 4, I have a recent one. It's in last year. The Miz, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, the IC title match to open the show. It was between that and the Ronda tag. And I think the Ronda tag was a better story. But if we're talking best pure matches, I think nothing's ever compared to that in terms of an opener. AJ and Shane almost got to this level, but I think these guys superseded that last year.
I forgot how good AJ and Shane was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was unexpected too.
Yeah.
It was very unexpected.
Number 3, I have also from New Orleans, but not from 34. Batista, Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, the main event. Steven brought up the opener with Bryan and Triple H.
Yes.
I was always in the camp, too, that the opener with Triple H was better than the main event. And then I went and watched the main event back. And the things that they did to keep you on the edge of your seat about, is Bryan going to win? They brought in crooked referee Scott Armstrong and Michael Cole. Like, damn it, this crooked ref is going to screw Bryan over. And then just seeing Bryan fight back and do all this stuff. The bump Orton took on the monitor on his back when he was doing the Batista Bomb RKO was disgusting.
That whole spot in general was really, really good.
Yeah. And then just the moment of, come on, Daniel, tap him out. And then he does, and the crowd goes crazy, and Michael Cole goes crazy, and you got this image of Orton sitting on the steps just looking back at, like, the adulation. You can't top a moment like that until Becky Lynch wins.
Yeah, that was
the title.
a ball off to a really good storyline.
Yeah.
That spanned it a long time.
Yeah.
There better be pyro galore and confetti.
And
when
Becky wins. Yeah.
Orange confetti. Give it to me.
And number 2 is one that none of y'all brought up. So I'm glad that my hot takes are continuing for this week. The main event, the last great main event in WrestleMania history, Mania 31, Brock and Roman, with the cash-in from Seth. Say what you will about Roman getting into that match. It is what it is. But the fact that they took the guy who you were saying, he's untrained, he's not, whatever. He's not ready for this moment. And he comes and he takes that licking from the beast, the guy who last year broke the streak, showed so much character. And it was such a fun thing to watch, see him come back. And then all of a sudden Seth comes out and then there's this fever pitch and then Seth walks away with the title. One of the most satisfying endings to WrestleMania ever.
It's the biggest surprise in WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Because nobody knew it was going to happen.
Nobody expected.
Because usually a lot of things, you get leaks about it,
Yeah.
spoilers, but because he lost earlier in the show.
Yeah.
And that was a really good match, too.
Yeah.
And then we're like, all right, then they're both on the ground and you hear Seth Rollins come out. We're like,
No way.
And that was the first time that had ever been done.
Yeah, the way he
during
cashed
the
in,
match.
he cashed in during the match and made it a triple threat.
like that.
That was interesting.
That was
When
good.
it first happened, I literally was sitting there. I was like, "Wait, so can he only pin Brock?" Though? I was like,
Yeah.
"Wait, because Brock is the champion." I was like, "Are 2 matches going on right now?
Yeah.
Is it Seth versus Brock and Roman versus Brock?" It's like that's interesting.
Then number 1, Shawn and Taker from 25. Nothing's ever come close. If I didn't give out so many superlatives in like 2018 with the best matches ever, this would probably be top 5 match of all time.
Yeah, I heard you gave 4 stars to Velveteen No Way Jose. So
I gave 1.5 stars to that match. I hate it. I hate No Way Jose.
That's the only match that I've ever heard Dante just be like, "I hate it. I hate WWE put on a bad product."
No
there.
Way Jose, big fat guy, just doesn't want to move for the Dream. Dream couldn't even pick him up because he was so
That match still
No
didn't
Way
get a fine
Jose
from
is
Meltzer.
literally
That
the
upsets me.
only WWE
I know,
star I
right?
know that Dante
Meltzer doesn't like
hates.
WWE. He likes, and
He likes whoever's cashing his check. So right now it's all elite, but we know that we just come to
in our hearts,
block
we
it
all
out.
know that Shawn and Taker was a 5.
Yeah.
A 5.
Yeah.
A 6. Give it a 6 because that's what it was.
110%.
Because the thing about Meltzer, not to get too far into him, because I actually have stuff we have to talk about. Like it does, Meltzer doesn't matter in life or anything.
I don't want to bring that name up anymore. We have to.
He doesn't go back and watch old matches, so whatever he gives, he gives.
Yeah.
But he went back to watch the Tokyo Dome main event this year to bump it up another quarter star, which was already over 5, which is stupid in and of itself.
But if you
Anyway.
ask him to do WrestleMania, he's gonna no.
No, of course not. So we talked about some great matches. Let's talk about some disappointing matches.
Yes.
For this, I don't know about you guys, and that's your prerogative. You do what you do.
Yeah.
I picked matches that weren't totally the worst. They were just matches that could have been better.
Yeah.
So like the Bushwhackers and the aren't on here
No.
or anything like that. I have like legit.
What
matches.
I did was match that had big builds with big superstars in it and
didn't pan out.
live up to the expectation.
Okay.
Yeah, that's basically what I
With
did.
that being said,
Yes, go for it.
Taker, Giant Gonzalez.
Okay.
That, just like we wanted to say like, matches that were built up and that were bad. Taker, Giant Gonzalez was
The
just-
first Brock and Goldberg.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
really really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we all right? So I have another one as Lesnar versus Ambrose from Mania.
I would agree
32.
with that.
Yeah.
The fact that they retconned the Lesnar-Wyatt match because the interactions between Brock and Dean were so good, and it turned into that match was just like
brutal.
Yeah, like he was selling the 2x4 on
Yeah.
Raws and he didn't even use it.
that,
whatever.
that's my number 2 most disappointing match.
Oh, we're
of all.
going- are we
No, you could just name names. I just had them in an order because I got
Yeah.
a little obsessive about
Yeah.
this.
All right, so another one I had then. I'll keep going. Triple H and Orton for Mania 25.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That was-
it
it was-
went on last too.
It
Yeah.
was supposed
shouldn't
to.
have.
It was supposed to be
Like
such a big. It was such a big build.
The build
And
was
the
build was
storyline was
amazing.
very well.
fantastic. That's why. Like
He has
breaking
Triple
in,
H on the.
Like Randy ran through the whole family.
Yeah,
except for
Triple
H.
H is handcuffed to the rope,
And
and
he
he
kisses-
kisses Stephanie.
Yeah.
Oh,
And Triple H breaking in his house.
Yeah.
And it's such a good build. Another one I
Yeah.
have is this year, Styles Nakamura.
Yep. I have that too.
Of course,
That's
gotta
understandable.
Be on there.
Yeah.
I like the match, but it's understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have this year's Brock and Roman.
Yeah, I get
thought
that too.
It was like
the outcome got me mad.
it was just like, oh, we built up the F5 so much so that when Roman kicks out, they'll pop for it, and then they didn't. So they're like, well, let's do it again,
And again.
and then again,
And again.
and again, and let's put them through an announce table with the F5. And then for me, there was too much blood. I don't think there was meant to be that much blood, but like
It turned you off.
yeah, like I like blood in some. I would prefer them to use like fake blood, honestly, now because it's safer and everything. Like blood can add to a story. The Bret Hart Stone Cold adds so much to the story. Like, if they have a match like just a good AJ has a good match and he comes out with like a broken nose, like it looks better. But that was just. I don't think Brock meant to break him open
No.
that much. His face
Like Orton
was
like,
covered.
just like how he did
Like,
Orton.
What's his face? Bruce Pritchard.
yeah,
Brother Love.
yeah, like it was
Or Ric
bad.
Flair when he started punching
Oh
himself.
my
yeah,
God.
like it was
Something I think that was disappointing. Even though Undertaker got a concussion in this match, I think Brock
Brock
and
match.
Undertaker was
I
very
had that
disappointing.
too.
Yeah.
Even though he got concussed, and it was the
Yeah.
end of his streak. I think if you're gonna end his streak, you gotta end it with something like Triple H Undertaker at 28 or something like Shawn
could've been the
Michaels.
last
Or
Top
even
5.
something like real surprising, like the way Brock beat up John Cena at SummerSlam that year.
If you're gonna make him lose,
Yeah,
either make
just
it lose like a
definitive,
definitive
yeah.
loss, or make it like something that's really out there.
Yeah.
Like it felt like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania 30. Like it was
I remember going to an indie show like a week after, and all the people there were like, "Oh, Brock went off the script. Oh, they weren't meant
That
to
was
do
a
it." It's like,
rumor.
yeah, it was just that was a bad match. It's
there's
fine.
a great interview with Paul Heyman where they're like inside access or whatever, and they're doing an interview, and Paul Heyman just goes, and like obviously he's doing it to like cause a stir, but he's like basically says, what if that wasn't the plan? He was like, what if Brock went into business for himself and decided, I'm going to dump him on his head a couple times and get him concussed. And he goes, and then Paul Heyman goes, he was like, he says the ref hesitated on that 2 count, which they always do. He's like, the ref hesitated for a while. It's like, maybe Taker was meant to kick out. He was like, very few people know what was supposed to happen in that match.
That's true.
He's like, the ref didn't. He's like, the fans didn't.
Imagine being the ref and you accidentally
Yeah,
count
like
three
count
and
the
take
three. He goes on. He's like the commentators didn't.
Yeah.
Nobody knew. He's like, I know, Vince knows, and Brock knows.
Yeah.
it'll come
That's
out-
it.
It'll come out eventually.
Because when he
So-
got hit with that F5, I was like, I think it was the third one.
It was the third one.
It was the third one. Like,
yeah.
all right.
Third
I was like,
or
okay, he's kicked out a worse.
Mm-hmm.
Then the 3 count happened. I was like, hold on. I like scratched my head for a little bit, and that was when the network had first came out. So I
Yeah.
rewinded it. He lost. I ran upstairs and told my brother he stopped watching wrestling for a little bit.
mistake.
I'm like, the Undertaker lost. He's like, no, he didn't. He ran downstairs.
No, he didn't.
He saw that he lost. He was like, wow.
I thought it was a mistake, but at the same time, like I didn't. I thought I was like, oh, that's just like a bad Styles Nakamura. When the WrestleMania match ended, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
They ended that early.
Yeah.
I was like I was ready for that to kick up another notch. And when that happened, I was like, oh, that was weird. Like that was a weird ending.
Yeah.
I was like, I really thought which was probably because Taker was concussed. I was like, I thought they were going to go another 5 to 10.
Yeah.
That was
So I agree with everyone here. I have 2 more matches that nobody else brought up. Shane and Taker for Mania 32. Not that I was expecting it to be a barn burner, but the storyline, just Shane coming back, I was in a fever pitch for. And then the build up, and he did the elbow on Raw. I thought it was going to be something, and it was the last real hurrah on that show because after that was the Andre Battle Royal and then Roman Triple H. And it was like, oh, Shane, just do something. And he didn't do anything.
Well, he did do something crazy.
He almost died. But
He
besides
almost
that,
died, but whatever. Shane
that's
does that
normal.
week in, week out.
Yeah.
That's normal.
And then my most disappointing match of all time, I'm sorry, Samori, Brett and Shawn Iron Man match.
I can understand why.
I've watched that whole match before, and the first half hour is nothing. Just nothing for me. They're just kind of
You can just skip
Yeah,
it.
it's a lot of wrestles, but in the back half 30 minutes, it really picks up.
There are moments for it, but I think just sitting there for an hour with no pinfalls, I think kill it. I understand they're the Iron Men, and you want to show that they could go an hour plus, but I don't know if it's the right time to do it in the first ever Iron Man match, especially without pinfalls or submissions or anything in the first hour. So
That is understandable.
yeah, it's a divisive match, and
and it
goes either way.
It's all preference. at
yeah,
that
it
point.
doesn't matter.
So I know we said about build and expecting something good, but we had Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler.
The
From
worst match
27.
in Mania history. Yeah,
Like, and they gave it way too much time.
Yeah.
That thing
Way
was like
too much.
15 minutes
Yeah.
long.
and it was a non-finish too, because like Lawler won. The anonymous GM was like, "No, you didn't.
Yeah.
cheated."
And then Cole won.
And then the anonymous GM turned out to be Hornswoggle later on.
Yeah.
Which, when was Hornswoggle heel? Like,
Yeah.
that
That
was
whole storyline
it was
awful.
bad because like everybody hated Cole.
Yeah.
Like you had, but like what was happening to him wasn't even like oh he's getting his due. Like you felt sad. Like you're like, oh, he's getting like barbecue sauce like poured on him. Like you're like what's going on? Oh, it was
Bad.
I also think like Jerry the King Lawler is very popular in Memphis, and I genuinely think that's it.
Yeah.
Like,
No, you're
that-
right.
That's
You're right.
that's it. Like Jerry Lawler does not have this marketability that WWE thinks he has.
Yeah.
Like bring him back when you're in Tennessee or like Kentucky.
Yeah.
That is it. That is the only time I want Jerry Lawler on my screen or anything. Like he's not marketable. JR was always better than Jerry Lawler.
I
Yeah,
agree.
you're right.
Like
He's always 10 times better than him.
Jerry just even going back, like listening to old Jerry commentary is just bad. Like
Puppies.
I did not like Jerry
Hey,
as
when
a
Paul Heyman
commentator.
took over him, that was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like going back and watching, that was fine.
He's just so not marketable.
Jerry Lawler aside, those were the best and worst Mania matches we brought up there in the first half hour. We have to take, everyone say it with me, a contractually obligated song break.
Oh, song break.
We'll get it eventually. We'll be right back talking about the best and worst Manias of all time. Keep it locked here on Brave New Radio.
साडी शान देखो मान सम्मान देखो पंजाबी मुंडे जिबे खड़ी है चट्टान देखो साडी पहचान देखो चंगा मैदान देखो कोपे समय बैरी किन्ने ने हैरान देखो ये मजाल बैरी मूरे आके खंगे केड़ा जिते तू रहना अपा देश यंदा है गडेरा दिलां चो वहम कटो झूठे दिलां से छड्डो शाने पंजाब ताडी नगरी दा लांदा गेड़ा मोती अखां च अख पाके वेखावे हो माई दा लाल केड़ा जेड़ा सन्नू पावे रो पहले तू पाही जिते बम सुटे साडी कौम छोटी उम्र तू ही खतरे ते पाले शो किसे तो डर जमा ए जिंद जिंदा नहीं खून का प्यासा होर कोई शै पींदा नहीं सुतक प्यास ते जलन तू लहरा विच नाब न सच वंदे मिल बन के रूहे पंजाब मुंडे जिते जान उते जान वड्डी तू वड्डी वेखो मुश्किला करन सान शेरां दी कौम अपा शेरां दी कौम अपा शेरां दी कौम साडे हौसले रहंदे महान.
Welcome back. I hope everyone's liking the Jinder Mahal theme for the 8:30. We're back on No Rest Holds for the Weary. I'm Dante Vacatoro. We still got Stephen Clark, Samori Rose, Jesse Norman. We talked about the best and worst Mania matches, individual performances in the first half hour. Now we're going to move to the collective package. best and worst manias of all time here on Top 5 Thursdays. Steven, you want to go first with the best manias of all time?
Let's go.
All right.
I'm ready. All right. Number 5. Just because I didn't watch it live, but I had to put it on the list since I rewatched it in my later years, was WrestleMania 17. I had to put it at number 5. Just could look at the card, man. Just insane. Rock Austin, Undertaker, Triple H. You got my favorite, the Gimmick Battle Royal. Love the Gimmick Battle Royal. The TLC match that we talked about was on that card. Lots of good matches. Lots of good matches. Like, good show as a whole. So I had to just throw that in there. Just even though other ones I picked, I watched live or within like a year or so of it coming out, but I threw that in. And the next one I have, number 4, is WrestleMania 22. I have lots of good matches. Again, top to bottom. Money in the Bank match was good. Edge with Mick Foley. Of course, Mickey James and Trish Stratus. A little controversial, but, that was one of the, I guess, best women's matches.
To that point.
At that point, it was one of the best.
To that point, yeah.
Yeah. Mysterio, Orton, and Angle, which I debated on putting on my top list, but I didn't. And then Cena and Triple H, too, which is a lot of good, solid matches there. My next one I have is WrestleMania 30 in New Orleans. Big 30. Started off strong with Triple H and Daniel Bryan. Had the first ever Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, the best one to
Absolutely
date,
the best
with
one,
Cesaro getting a huge pop when he eliminates the Big Show. Good main event. The women's match was weird on that show. It was
the 14-way match.
14 Vicky Guerrero Invitational or whatever, and AJ just beat the crap out of basically everybody.
How it should have been.
Yeah. The Shield crushed the New Age Outlaws. It kind of sucked. Look, Cena and Wyatt, underrated match in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so.
Very
good
underrated.
match.
Good build. Good. The promo to the match was really good. Like
because people were like, "Oh, Bray didn't win."
Yeah, that's why
Yeah,
people
so-
didn't like it.
People hated it.
But-
Which, I mean, I can see, but also, like, don't just destroy the match just because, like, the guy you wanted didn't
Like the
win.
Rumble from 2014.
Yeah.
I don't think that was a bad Rumble.
Yeah.
Nah.
But
Daniel Bryan wasn't in, so people went crazy for it.
I like Cena Bray a lot. That
Yeah.
match. I like the opening promo. The video was really well done.
Yeah, with the Eminem song.
Yes.
I forgot the name of the song. but-
Legacy.
Legacy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
that
didn't
was-
like that song off that album, but yeah, that was a good.
Very-
the way they used it was good.
Very good.
Cena Bray and then the Bryan Triple H video package with Monster.
Fantastic.
Yeah, 2 of the best video packages WWE's ever put out. I think those and the Hate Me Now one for Miz at Mania 27 are better than My Way.
And that's one of my favorite Nas songs.
Yeah.
Let's not get into that, but that was really, really good. Then how he had the awesome split open.
Yeah.
That was one of the best parts of 27.
Yeah, I agree. My number 2 WrestleMania is WrestleMania 21. Going Hollywood, baby. Money in the Bank match was fantastic. Edge winning that. Undertaker Orton with that insane RKO, the chokeslam into the RKO. We had the Kurt and Shawn Michaels, which I talked about earlier, which was really good. Cena won his first world title.
Yep.
He beat JBL, which was the what's the name of the title again?
Undisputed.
It was the Undisputed
Undisputed
title.
Championship. Yeah,
That was
when it
the
was
name,
still
yeah.
the old.
Yeah.
I don't think it was undisputed. It was just the WWE title
Oh, was this?
because it
Yeah,
was
at that
after.
point,
It was
yeah.
after.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
right,
because-
that's right.
yeah.
they just named it that. And then Batista defeated Triple H, which was cool. See the Evolution members go at it there. And then my number 1 was my first one I bought. A little nostalgia plus a little. I really thought it was good though. WrestleMania 24
Oh, yep.
in Orlando.
Really good show.
Yeah.
Top to bottom, man.
Yeah.
Really good show.
Just starting with that Belfast brawl, JBL and Finley. What a match! I thought that was really good, on point. The triple threat was pretty good with Orton, Cena, Triple H. I was a big Orton fan at the time, so just seeing him win that match was pretty cool. Floyd Mayweather versus the Big Show, which was crazy.
That's the best celebrity match.
Yeah.
That was
Oh, yeah.
by far the best.
Floyd put his working boots on for that one.
Yeah, after you broke Big Show's nose.
He worked Big Show harder than he worked Conor McGregor.
Yeah, right. Punk winning his first Money in the Bank match, which was cool. That was a good match in my opinion. A lot of stars in that. Jericho, Morrison, Benjamin, Carlito, I think were all in there.
MVP at the height of his popularity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Matt Hardy came back during
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that was cool to see that. And then Undertaker versus Edge in the main event.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are my top
It's
5.
a solid list.
Yeah.
Very
Solid
good list.
Thank you.
All right, now I have to top it, I guess. All right, 5. I have honorable mentions like I always do. 1 is just there for nostalgia. It's just there. 3 is also there because of the Savage match, Savage and Stingboat. And then Hogan picking up Andre.
Yeah.
I have 21, 28, 30, and 31. I don't have anything really recent. So number 5, I have WrestleMania 23. I think it was a very solid show.
Yeah.
Did you get the first match of the Undertaker's string of really good matches with Batista? The main event was really good. The Donald Trump thing, the match itself wasn't that bad, and the storyline wasn't bad either.
Yeah.
Then the Money in the Bank match, Mr. Kennedy won.
Yeah.
Then
That's
Edge,
right.
and Edge took it from him. But that you see Jeff Hardy do his Daredevil
Yeah.
thing. CM Punk Randy Orton was the match. A really, really good Money in the Bank match. Number 4, also I have WrestleMania 24. I think from the top, very top to bottom, very good card. Edge and Undertaker, it was a really good main event. The triple threat match, I think that's an underrated match.
Yeah.
Me too.
And then nobody thought Orton was going to win. Then he punched Triple H in the
Yeah.
head and wins. I have WrestleMania 20 at number 3. And that's kind of nostalgic for me. I'm going to be biased with these next 3. So the Kurt Angle and Eddie Guerrero put on their best match together. Then we all had the triple threat in there. Undertaker came back as the dead man. That was a really good highlight. Christian and Chris Jericho put on a really good match. And then both of the Fatal 4-Way tag team matches weren't that bad either. WrestleMania 17 is number 2 for me. You got Triple H versus The Undertaker, TLC 2. Jericho, William Regal had a really good technical match. Austin Rock. To me, that was the best Austin and Rock match because of the story. Even though what happened in the aftermath was Stone Cold turning heel, whatever. But the match itself was really good. Then number 1, this might surprise people, WrestleMania 19 is my favorite.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's a lot of really good matches on there. Even though the Cruiserweight match, the opening match was 5 minutes. Rey Mysterio, Matt Hardy got a lot out of it. You got Hogan and McMahon. Roddy Piper came back. Then Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Shawn Michaels, Jericho. Really, really solid stuff.
That one just missed my list. I was debating between that one and putting 17 on. And I just decided to put 17.
I watched that on VHS 300 times when I was a kid.
That's a good list.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it too.
Jessica, you top it?
I mean, I feel like it's pretty similar. But, so at 5, I have WrestleMania 23. The Cena Michaels main event was I was a big Cena kid growing up. I wasn't one of the smart kids who didn't like
Join the
Cena
club.
because he wasn't good for business.
The first DVD I ever got for wrestling was New Year's Revolution 2007.
Oh,
And that was the match where Cena fought Umaga for the title.
Umanga.
And Umaga ran into the turnbuckle and Cena rolled him up. And I remember when Cena got the 3 count, and this is on a DVD, and I watched this about 9 months after it happened. I jumped up and was pumping my fist. I was so happy Cena won. Yeah.
my first WWE DVD, I got the ladder match, which was a 3-part
Yeah, I had
thing.
that. Yeah.
And I believe the Cena and Edge TLC match was
Yeah.
in there. And every time I watched it a million times, it was the only WWE DVD I had. So I would watch it all the time. And every time when Cena would get Edge up and he's gonna dump him onto the table, I would literally get up and just yell do it, do it, do it. Knowing he's still gonna do it, nothing's gonna change, but I would still yell all the time. So I loved that. I mean, Michaels probably carried a good bit, but Cena still showed he was a main event player. Number 4, WrestleMania 30. I did like the Cena Wyatt match more than a lot of people. Obviously, Daniel Bryan. All you have to say for that.
Yeah.
An underrated match I thought was the Usos, the tag team match that started it. I thought that was a pretty looking at the teams now that they went against. They're very uninspiring. Ryback Los Matadores. They're not good, but the match was through and through was solid enough, a good opener that I don't think gets enough love.
I agree.
WrestleMania 20. Come on, just the end. Benoit, Guerrero. I mean, it was wonderful. Number 2, WrestleMania 21.
There we go.
Mostly for the Angle and Michaels, but mine was more of just what it affected later on. Cena and Batista were crowned. And that was it for me. That was the telling of for Cena, the next 10 years of WWE, and for Batista, the next good 5 to 6.
You had your top guy in each brand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then it eventually built to this storyline, which should have been so much better. To have the Batista Cena storyline should have been so much better when it
Yeah,
happened.
which led to Batista quitting eventually.
Oh my God. It should. Oh, all right. I'm gonna get off.
We're not gonna touch.
And then number 1, WrestleMania 17, Stone Cold Rock. I mean, 17. And for me, 17. It's crazy because, and I'll lead this in. 18 is one of the worst WrestleManias I ever had.
Yeah.
Like 18, and the only reason I think 18 is so bad is because 17 was so good.
Right.
Okay.
So like 18, like everybody knows The Rock, Hogan, like that was iconic, but like top to bottom, the card wasn't great. But that's because just a year prior, it was amazing. It was one of the best
You could say
manias of
19
all time.
benefited off of that too.
Yeah, 110%. So like, it all depends on the show that they put on.
Right.
Like this year, I have higher hopes for WrestleMania than I did last year, because I think last year was like a solid show that had a lot of ups, like some downs in there. Yeah, obviously every 6-hour show is gonna have some downs,
Of course.
but solid show through and through. And I think now that was Styles' like first Mania as the champion. Like he was working with Shane the year before, but like he was an established, like he's one of our main eventers. Obviously you still have Brock, like you're building up Seth Rollins for this whole year. So I'm very excited for this year because I feel like the previous year impacts so much. I think that's why 22 underwhelmed a lot of people, because 20 and 21 were so good. It just it has a lot of context in it.
I get that.
But yeah.
Good list.
Yeah.
I have a list that has,
Nice.
as you do, has some, if not most, of what you guys talked about. I'm in the boat that Manias before the year 2000 were mostly trash, with maybe one or two good things on it. And then starting with 17, and then even then it's kind of bumpy until you get to like the 20s. It's get better and better. And then the 30s, besides 32, I think has been phenomenal.
Yeah. Okay.
Number 5, I have at WrestleMania 21 in 2005.
Oh, wow.
I very much like 28, 26, 24 as well, and 22. There's a lot of good ones. But I think 21 stands above it for the undercard. You got Ray and Eddie tearing the house down to open the show. The first Money in the Bank was considered the best for the longest time. The two main events kind of underwhelmed match quality wise, but again, the long-term impact of Batista and Cena as champions cannot be understated. Taker Orton was a hell of a match.
Yeah.
Young Orton, countering the choke slams, the RKO is one of the coolest moments at that point.
That was the best Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Legend Killer
Legend
Orton
Killer.
is by far the best Orton still.
Number 4, I have this past year's Mania 34. I think there was just too much good to not consider it up there, and I'll get to that as I get to my number 2. Seth, Finn, and Miz, I talked about. Charlotte and Asuka. There's no two matches at Start of Mania ever been better than those two like that. You know, you have I really like the Alexa and Nia, at least the storyline going
Good
in.
story.
I think the matches were all right.
Which is kind of like the roles are reversed current day.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
The Ronda tag, obviously. Cena and Undertaker's build to get to what match they had, I think was really, really well done.
Yeah, I love that,
Yeah.
actually.
I had no issue with that.
Because as long as I want them to play off of it. I mean, I know we all don't want Taker to wrestle again,
Yeah.
but
I want Taker as the Universal Champion. Cena beating him for it. Give me that.
what a story. I want that by WrestleMania 38.
Yes. Yes. Give
That's
me
what
it.
I want. Give me 3 more years.
Yes.
Yeah. Besides like the last two matches, you know, you could argue that Roman and Brock was better than what people intended for, like I do, but you know, whatever. And then Braun and Nicholas as a team kind of killed everyone. But I think overall, as a package, I think Mania 34 was done well.
Thought it was a girl at first. And then it said Nicholas. I was like, oh.
Number 3, I have Mania 31 from 2015. It was between that and 30 for this slot for me, because I consider both of them like neck and neck. But I think 31 did a little bit more because I think it just did. I think they were very succinct with what they put on the show.
Yeah.
The Seth Orton match blew it away.
The Money in the Bank, not the
ladder match.
The ladder match was really good.
Really well done there. Cena and Rusev, I thought was very good. A good proving ground match for Rusev.
He had a tank.
He did.
Tank.
Yeah.
That was one of the nicer arenas too.
Yeah, in Santa Clara.
Yeah, 33 is to me is the best arena. That's the nicest one.
I really I'll defend Triple H and Sting to the death. I thought that was a fun as hell match.
Yeah, it was fun. It just went a little long. Just a little
just a
long.
little long.
But they needed to go long to get all the NWO and DX in.
Yeah.
This is just a context thing, but like, why did the NWO come out for Sting?
Yeah.
WCW.
I get like the WCW thing, but
With Sting,
literally,
Sting took him out by himself.
and NWO were literally sworn enemies.
Except for NWO Sting.
Yeah, it should have been Wolfpack.
Yeah,
Jeff
that was,
Farmer.
come on.
The
Jeff
Wolfpack
Farmer
should have
should-
came
That
out.
was so bad. That's like John Cena getting beaten down, and then like
The Shield helped
like
him.
back in the day. No, like
The Nexus.
Randy Orton.
The Nexus
Like
comes in.
like way
Or
back
no,
in the
yeah,
day,
the
like
Nexus,
like
too.
Cena's about to go up against like AJ Styles in a WWE TNA match, and then Randy Orton saves him. Like what?
Yeah.
Wait a second. That was my only problem with that match. I thought it actually wasn't that bad, but the NWO thing was like, wait, what?
And then Brock Roman Seth is the main event. I've already spoken my piece on that.
Yep.
Number 2, I have Mania 33 in 2017. First things first, Green Light is far and away the quintessential WrestleMania theme.
We love Pitbull.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
We could be as divided as we want to be about actual wrestling, but wrestling fans know that Green Light by Mr. Worldwide is the best Mania theme song of
And
all
Lunch,
time.
Don't forget about Lunch Money Lewis.
Lunch Money Lewis
Lunch
peaked
Money
with
Lewis.
Mania 30.
Oh,
yeah.
fantastic.
So the AJ Shane, obviously. The Owens and Jericho, I liked the match for what it was, even if Vince Jr. didn't like it. Triple H and Seth, I thought was really well done. I know people didn't really like it, whatever. They handled Undertaker's retirement, quote unquote, well post match.
Yeah.
Giving it the main event's kind of silly
The
in
match itself
retrospect. Yeah, because Taker's old and beat up and he can't work 20 minutes anymore.
Brock and Goldberg actually had that
Brock
was
and
fun.
Goldberg's
That was
sprint
really, really
great.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, really fun.
Great match there. The ladder match, the Hardys came back in.
Oh, yeah.
The Fatal 4 with the women
Yeah.
was good too.
Yeah.
Well, when Nia got out.
Yeah.
When
You
Nia
don't like
got
that,
out.
yeah.
When Nia got out, it got good.
Yeah. And then my number 1 is 19.
Yes.
Top to bottom, I think everyone was there. Vince bled for Hulk Hogan with a great match. Rock and Austin was great. Jericho and Michaels was great. Triple H and Booker did what they had to do. Kurt,
Besides put Booker over.
yeah, you know,
That's Triple H at his
worst.
At-
You know,
yeah.
we can just say that.
the reign of Triple H.
The
and
reign
then
of terror.
Then Brock breaking his neck on the shooting star against Angle is iconic. What a show!
I didn't even talk about Austin and Rock. That was the last Austin
Yeah.
match. And for what he went through, like the nights before, I don't know if you guys know, like he had like I think like a
Staph infection.
it was like staph infection. Then he had like an anxiety attack.
Jeez.
Then he wrestled a pretty deep for what it was. It was a good match.
Very good match. Yeah.
Rock him with three of the hardest rock bottoms I've seen. Yeah, that was a really fun show.
Yeah. 19's the best. I think maybe 35 has a shot to beat it.
Oh, 100%.
If we're
On paper. On paper,
if we're
yes.
building the way we're building and we get some of these matches here, we might be able to beat it with 35.
I think so.
Because I think 35 is going to mix a lot of technical things
Yeah.
with a lot of story.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a lot of good storytelling along with the technical stuff.
Yeah. So let's move on to worst. We have about 10 minutes left here. You want to just name manias or
I'll blaze through. 2000 was pretty underwhelming.
Yeah, besides the
And I hate
ladder
that.
match.
I hate that it's
It's
2000. I hate that.
What if they get
I
to,
hate it so.
what if the year is 2185 and then we actually get to Mania? No, I'm not doing math
What
right.
are you doing? What?
What if they actually
they
get to WrestleMania
like
2000?
actually 2000.
Yeah.
Oh.
They got to go back to Roman numerals
Well,
then.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
God,
can't
I
do math
hate
this
that.
way.
I hate
Yeah.
it so much. It's never just like what is it? They always call 18x8.
Yeah.
Yeah, and 17's X7.
X7.
Yeah, like come on.
Yeah.
Funny enough, my next one is 18. So it's X8.
Yeah.
The only like current day WrestleMania I have on there is 32. I thought 32 was just underwhelming.
Yeah.
My
And all the
friend
wrong
has,
people won.
I have 32 on
yeah.
it too.
My friend has a good theory on it. Like if you take away the results of the matches, it's not a bad show.
Yeah.
It's just that all the wrong people won.
Yeah.
That happened. Yeah.
I could like run through them quick. So
Except for Zack Ryder.
yeah.
Who lost what the next night?
Next night to
We
Miz.
don't need to remember that.
So 2-4, 2-4, 9, 11.
I've never even seen all of them.
Don't. Lawrence Taylor and Bam Bam Bigelow's
Oh,
the main
yeah,
event.
I've seen that.
I think that was good for what
Yeah,
it was.
a
but
good
the-
celebrity for back in the day.
The show is bad.
The sh-
I
yeah,
agree with you there.
Can we all agree the worst WrestleMania
13 was bad,
is
too.
2? Like 2 was
two
bad.
I have it as my number. I have it as my number
I have
2.
two.
It was in
Really?
three different
What?
cities,
Wait, which
3
one?
different main events.
I have 2 as number 1.
What one is worse than number 2?
5.
I don't even remember anything about
That
WrestleMania
was
5,
the
so.
yeah. That was a Hogan Savage blow off. That was
Oh, the Mega Powers
the
exploded.
Mega
Yeah.
Powers
Yeah.
exploded.
that was decent.
That
And
match
you-
was a one-match show.
And
essentially.
you always have the moment of Rick Rude being the Ultimate Warrior because Heenan grabbed the leg of Warrior and held it down for the
Yeah.
pinfall.
Yeah.
Everything else is just dog poop. Like,
Let's not forget about number 27. I want to talk about.
Oh,
I'll
but
fight
thank
you guys to the
yeah.
death on this.
No,
27 was-
27
I,
was not
I watched
good.
this show about 8 months ago, and besides the 3 bad matches, it's a good show.
The way you're thinking is it's so bad that it's good. That's the way. You're,
I'm gonna pull up this card. We're just gonna spend the rest of this talking about
please.
Mania 27.
We only have like 5 minutes. So.
Yeah, we could do this.
Yeah.
Snooki's on the card,
All right,
man.
calm down. She's not the first match. First match is Edge and Del Rio. Now, what do you have a problem
Oh,
with?
come
this
on.
here?
That was you can't be mad about that because that was Edge's last
exactly,
match.
Yeah.
and it was
But
a
we
great
didn't
match.
know that at the
And
time.
it
We
was,
didn't know
it
that.
was a great match
And
too.
and Edge was a
Good
criminal.
match. It was a good match. It was a good
It's a
match.
very
Edge
good
was a
match.
criminal, destroying his limo.
That's fine.
He's a criminal.
That's fine.
And they
Nobody
arrested-
ever got behind Del Rio. Del Rio, I will go down. Del Rio is the worst
horrible.
baby face in
Yeah.
WWE history.
He's not
agree.
likable.
Easy.
Just like
Horrible.
if you do, you can't. I hope and pray they don't do this. EC3 can't be a face when he has the 1% gimmick.
No, he can't be.
It doesn't work unless he's literally giving it to orphans. Unless he's giving money to orphans. No, you can't be a wealthy babyface.
No.
It doesn't work.
No, I agree. I agree 100%.
Del Rio is the worst face of all time.
Yeah. What else is on this card?
Next match is Cody and Mysterio.
Disappointed me. I think
Would
Get
be,
out
be-
of town.
would be better today.
See,
It would
be better
It was
today.
grotesque Cody Rhodes at the time,
It was
too.
so good though. The fact that like, oh man, I'm ugly because of you, Ray, and then he took the mask off and beat Ray with it, and then he hit Ray with the knee brace. Oh,
That's
Can
a
we
match.
all remember that this feud started because Cody became Dashing Cody Rhodes? Because they asked the Divas who was the most attractive member of the roster. And Cena came in second and Cody Rhodes came in first. And I remember I was mad because I was like, Cena's definitely more attractive than Cody Rhodes. I was like, that makes no sense. If
Yeah.
anybody's dashing, it's John Cena.
so we agree this is a good match. Yeah. Okay.
All right, it disappointed me.
All right. Next match, I agree with you guys being bad. This is the Core versus the Big Show.
Poor.
But
First of all, Big Show Santino.
Kane and Kingston. It was going to be Kozlov, and Kozlov got hurt at the hands of
Thank
the
goodness it wasn't
choruses.
Kozlov. It would have been worse.
The Kofi.
the core.
It was only 90 seconds. Let's not get up in arms about it here. It was what it was.
I wanted the core to work so bad only because I loved Justin Gabriel.
Yeah.
Everybody
I hate
else,
Justin Gabriel.
I love
I like
Justin
Justin
Gabriel.
Gabriel.
Didn't he lose like
Four
fingers
fingers
and
splash was
toes
nice.
now because he does base jumping and he just loses toes when he does it? Like,
He in Nexus and Core, I wanted them to work. I didn't even care if everybody else failed. I wanted Gabriel to succeed.
I had a Core
And
t-shirt.
They built him in the Nexus as the second best guy.
Yeah.
Like he was always the one who hit the 450. He always ended everything.
my favorite Core story is that they were originally going to be spelled like how Core is actually spelled.
Yeah.
But they sent Heath Slater to write it down for the trademarking people, and he misspelled it, and that's why they're Core with 2 R's. Yeah.
Of course, he would do something like
Yeah,
that.
of course it's
so
Slater.
funny.
Yeah. Next match is Orton Punk.
It disappointed. It was
I
good.
liked it.
It was
lot.
good, but it disappointed me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't a fan.
I like the fact that they brought up Unforgiven 08 as part of the storyline. Punk just didn't care because it's Punk. Orton didn't care because it's Orton.
Yeah.
But I think they still had a really good match for what it was, just because they're just both so talented at that point.
Yeah.
Man.
Next,
Looking rough, Dante.
Say what's next. Say what's next.
next match is Cole and Lawler. I agree.
Oh,
I agree with you guys. It's the worst. I think it's the worst Mania match of all time.
On the worst Mania.
It's
of
one
all
of
time.
the
Yep.
worst matches of all time.
Calm down. Next match is Taker and Triple H.
The one
The one
highlight.
saving grace.
Yeah.
The one
This was a
highlight.
fantastic match.
It wasn't even a match. It was a brawl.
It was a brawl.
It
Like,
was just
yeah.
like
Triple H
those
put him
guys
through the,
like could barely even kind of go anymore, and they were just like, screw it, we're gonna throw
He put him through Michael
everything at
Cole's
each
little
other.
box.
Yeah.
And it
That
wasn't
was
as good
cool.
as the next year's either.
No.
Yeah.
Because the next year
but
had more
it's-
story to it.
let's not compare it to anything else. Let's talk about it as its own
That's
entity.
what we've been doing this
It was
whole
very
time.
good.
Just comparing things.
It's not supposed to though. Next match is one I'll fight you guys on. the Snooki 6-woman tag. Listen, for a celebrity in the position that Snooki was in 2011, she was not that bad.
But why on WrestleMania? Like,
Because where else are you going to do
put her in
it?
someone's corner. Like, don't have her in a match.
Yeah, but having her in the corner doesn't attract enough audience.
Yeah.
She did a handspring Muda elbow to one of the lay cool. Like, it was good. It was only 3 minutes. So we're not complaining that, they took up too much
3 minutes
time.
too long.
The main event with Miz and Cena, I will argue that it is a fine, solid wrestling match.
Wrong.
It's
I think
good.
it sucked.
It was bad.
It was fine.
Especially the ending with The Rock.
Yeah, I don't agree with The Rock.
A face helping a heel win like that.
Oh God, that was
Like,
Yeah,
what?
Dante, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. That
Well,
was-
because technically
was
Rock
bad.
was heel, but you can't boo The Rock.
No,
so
you can't boo The Rock.
Come on.
Yeah, who's gonna boo the Rock?
So my actual worst manias of all time, we got 5 and 4, both of the Atlantic City ones. 2 is up there. I give 6 credit because 6 had like 15 matches and none of them were good. And then 12 because there were only 6 matches, and if they were banking on what's his face and Bret Hart to do well, Shawn Michaels. There you go. Yeah, just only the greatest of all time. Just
that
tongue
guy.
twister.
Oh yeah, that's Mr. WrestleMania. I know.
Yeah,
He's the best WrestleMania performer.
Yeah.
Then Undertaker's.
Him and Taker are 1 and
number
2
2.
for me.
Yeah, 1 and 2. I agree. I've seen.
I think
up
that's
there.
universal.
Yeah.
Cena, Triple H, I have up there.
I didn't realize how many matches I was disappointed with Brock at Mania. He might be my
Top 5
least
worst.
favorite. Yeah, Mania
Him
performer.
and Angle had a really good match, and other than that,
Yeah, that's just it.
let's hope he could do something this year. I doubt it, but
I don't think so.
yeah, let's hope.
I don't think so. All right. So that was a show.
That was a show.
That was our 3rd episode of No Rest Holds for the Weary. We did it. Thank you guys for showing up. That's Jesse Norman. Say hi.
what's up, gang?
That's Samori Rose.
That wasn't high, but hello.
That's Stephen Clark.
Hello.
And I'm still Dante Vacatoro. Next week, we're going to predict the Elimination Chamber. We're going to talk a little more about Becky Lynch's road to WrestleMania. And then we're going to do Top 5 Thursdays centering around the chamber itself. Thank you so much for listening. You can catch the replay of this on YouTube probably in about 2 hours, as long as my computer doesn't explode. Yeah. Thank you once again for listening. And remember, we're up this early because there's no rest holds for the weary. See you next week.
WPS